we live. Well, let's get right into it, man. First of all, what's up, good people? And thank you for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio. Back in the building, got Sabrina on the ones and twos back here, you know what I'm saying? I got my co-host, Water. Water is an excellent co-host, making sure you're drinking all of this water every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason we all exist. Don't ever forget that. When you're getting caught up in the riches and the materialism and political agendas and just all kind of flashy stuff, this right here, this simple ingredient of molecules is the reason any of this exists.
Facts.
So drink it. Drink it. Act like it's your lifeblood. Coffee is not your lifeblood. I see y'all lying.
Water is the essence of wetness.
It's the essence, bro. It's everything. Without this, it wouldn't even be no podcast. It wouldn't be no internet. Wouldn't be no podcast. Your favorite shows, your favorite purse, your favorite sweats wouldn't exist. Your pets, your beloved pets wouldn't even be here. They'd be drinking this water, man. Drink it. Love it. Embrace it. Hold it. We got a guest, y'all, as you can see. We got a phenomenal MC. Ooh. My favorite Bay Area MC. And I'm not just saying that because he's on the show.
Thank you.
I mean it. I'm like, yo, this dude got bars. Big bars. Ted Danson bars. You understand me? Bennigan's. All that. Remember Bennigan's?
Bennigan's, I remember
Bennigan's, man. This dude, man, can rap. And not only that, not only is he a lyricist, skilled lyricist, he can battle, whatever. You go to his page, you can see. You got a bunch of people on your page right now because you doing a challenge.
Yep.
You got the challenge going now. So you got everybody in there barring up. This dude's the real deal. We got Locksmith in the building.
Yeah.
In the building.
Tony Baker, what's going on, bro?
Man, first of all, thanks for doing the show.
Absolutely, man.
You got a million other things you could be doing, but you're here with us.
Absolutely, man.
Why the name Locksmith?
I wish I had some extra complicated, deep, thoughtful, third eye meaning to it.
Right.
But honestly, when my homies, when we first started rapping, my best friend and my other homie, they were rapping. We used to, because I'm obviously, I'm from the Bay Area.
Right.
Grew up in Richmond. Mm-hmm. And we had a homie that had a apartment in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they used to go over there to rap. And
right.
I was like, man, what y'all doing? Where y'all going?
The high pitch.
I was like, man, where y'all going? It's like, oh, man, we rapping. I was just like, and I had never, joked around rapping, right. You know what I mean, as a kid, but never like tried to rap.
How old were you in this time?
This was right after high school.
Okay.
This was right after high school.
Fresh 18.
Exactly. This was right after high school, and I was deep in the hoop. You know what I mean? I was hooping. We were all in the hoop, but rap was kind of like, it was just something they were doing. I was like, well, I want to learn that. So then they took me, and then after about 2 weeks, I want to say the first rap that I wrote, because at that point I was still writing down on paper. I was still learning how to I didn't know,
Right.
And the first rap that I recorded in the house, I said something like lyrical locksmith. Mm-hmm. And they had, I didn't have a name, because
right.
you had to come up with like a name. They was like, they just start calling me that, like, your name is Locksmith. I was like, no, that's a stupid name. You know what I mean? Like, I want something like Method Man or something.
Right.
Tupac,
Yeah.
But they just said, nah, you locksmith. And then when we kind of start going around, like doing like little ciphers and stuff like that, people was like, yo, Locksmith, that's a hot name. I was like, damn, maybe it is hot.
Right.
So it was kind of like a nickname. It just kind of it was given to me.
Yeah, it was organic then.
It was organic. Completely,
that's better than the super deep joint because it came from a real place and it sound dope.
Yeah.
Like Locksmith, you'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
So you were hooping. What position did you play?
Small. Because I've been this height. I'm 6'5".
Okay.
So I want to say I was a natural 3. But when you tall, when you're like 8th grade, now you 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then by the time I got to like college, play 1 year, I was a 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, by then my game started getting better. I developed the outside shot.
Right.
I was balling. I had a couple, because I went to a community college for 1 year, and I had a couple interests from like, Fresno State,
Yeah.
San Diego State, like scholarships. But at that point, it was that's when I started taking rap serious.
Okay.
Rap more serious.
So you chose rap over ball.
Well, it wasn't like, Dean Smith was knocking on my door. But I did. It was make that choice. It was just like, all right, my focus. I would say, you know what? I chose my education.
Okay.
Because I was just like, you know what? I'm not really tripping off of playing, professional basketball. But
Right.
I want to finish my education. So I transferred to UC Berkeley. And I was like, all right, that's my focus, education. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get this done. I want to, make my family proud. But at
Right.
the same time, I'm developing my artistry as a hip hop artist.
Man, UC Berkeley, man, I'm a fan of that area. Me and her, we talk about the Bay
like the
Area.
Bay?
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, man.
We
Bay's
wish we
beautiful.
lived up there, to be
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
with you.
Yes.
Because we'd be like, the Bay. We prefer it over Southern California. No disrespect to my,
But where you
people from
originally
Southern-
from?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay, because
originally.
I see you always post the Bulls.
Yeah. So,
What part
so I'm
of
from
Chicago?
the Midwest, South Side.
My mom was from the South Side. of
Really?
Chicago.
Yeah. I used to live on 75th in Indiana. So I used to live in Chatham area, South
Okay.
Shore, Bronzeville. So all over that area. And
Dope.
so your mom, did she move out to Cali?
Yeah, she was the first person from my mom's side of the family to move from the Midwest, from Chicago. She's originally from Tennessee,
Okay.
then went to Michigan for a second, and then basically like before she came to California, she was in Chicago. Yeah, still my
Yeah.
uncle's family, they all still out there.
They still out there?
Yeah,
So you
quite.
got the Chicago
That's that
connection.
side. I don't. Yeah, they all in Chicago and Detroit, Pontiac.
Okay.
Yeah, so they out there in the Midwest. Yeah.
Man, I was born in Michigan.
There you
so
go.
it's like boom. Then went right back to Chicago and then ended up west in New Mexico first, then Cali.
There you go. Yeah.
So your mom moved from Chicago to Richmond?
Yep.
Yeah, she
Chicago.
went
Well,
straight-
Chicago to Berkeley or something like that.
Okay.
She met my dad. They got married, and then they moved to Richmond.
Oh, then they moved to Richmond. Why Richmond? You know why?
I don't know. Back in the day, I guess. I mean, just from my historical knowledge,
Yeah.
Richmond was like, it was like a bustling area. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? After like the World War II and all that area. So, it started like kind of coming up. It was all
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
these seaports and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So Richmond was cool. It was a good area. But then I want to say around the 80s is when it got
I
is
wonder
when it
what
got
happened.
hood.
The jobs left.
It
The
just
same
crack.
old. Oh, crack. Good old
Drugs,
crack.
Good old Oliver North.
Dang, messing up the community.
Good
man.
old government. But
Because
yeah.
Richmond, California, for those that don't know, it's kind of infamous for crime and being
no,
dangerous.
dude, it's no joke. Like,
Yeah.
like Richmond is everybody in Richmond is from their families is from the South. So
Okay.
everybody is from or Chicago, either the
Yeah.
Midwest or the South. So they either from Louisiana. Matter of fact, they call North Richmond the New Orleans. They call it, you know what I mean? They
That's
call it New
where
Orleans.
Master P opened his record store.
Was in Richmond.
It was in Richmond, yeah.
Well, San Pablo. So another little story is a lot of people don't know. When I was a kid coming up, when I was hooping, Master P was still in the Bay.
Yeah.
He was still hooping and still doing his music.
Oh, wow.
And he used to come around to the high schools and the schools and the malls and give us his CDs.
Yeah.
And his flyers. Not his CDs, his flyers. And be like, yo, pass out my flyers and da-da-da-da. And we used to, Silk, used to hoop with Silk the Shocker.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And all them. And then one day, we was up at UC Berkeley. This is back, remember when Jason Kidd and all them was playing for
Yeah.
Cal Berkeley? So we was youngsters, obviously. We used to sneak in the gym, the university gym, to get run with like the, with like the hoop players.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd, Lamar Murray, all them. And we like 13 years old, maybe
Right.
something like that. But we tall. I'm the same height I was now, 6'5".
Wow.
So we want to get in it with them.
Yeah.
And they some other dudes tried to punk us off our because we had next, and they was like, nah, get them up off of here.
Right.
And P was like, nah, man, these my little homies from Richmond. Make sure they run. You gonna run with us.
Okay.
And we got on there and got the hoop, and they was just like, oh, so I never forget Master P for that.
Yeah.
Man. He stuck up for us.
That's dope, man. Man, I got the utmost respect for Master P and what he was able to do, and like the stories I hear about him
Yeah.
are always pretty like dope. Like you don't really hear about Master P ripping off his artists.
Well, a lot of people in Richmond would disagree with you on that.
Oh wow, really? Talk about it.
Like I was like, obviously this is before my time, but P, from a lot of people that I know, like in studios and other people that was working with P, either directly or indirectly, a lot of people was like, yo, P kind of just like came here and he did, and he was using the producers. He kind of took the information and took the producers, some of the things.
Okay.
And then once then he went back.
Yeah.
And he got stuff popping. And I guess he was still, a lot of people said they owed him money still for certain things.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people kind of like, it was bittersweet. A lot of people, I think he may have reconciled with some people, but some people still like, upset. So I don't know the details about that, but some people definitely. I remember coming across, back in those late 90s and those times, because we was kids, so we just be playing like certain Master P songs, Ghetto Trying to Kill Me, that type of stuff, about it. And they be like, man, don't play that shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, what happened? They like, yo, P did this. And I'm like, damn, but he was cool with that situation with us.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Silk was cool, knew him back from hooping and stuff like that.
I get it now because it's like, okay, they felt like he came, kind of used Richmond to get his feet together, get his thing popping,
and they was like,
then he dipped out.
Because he was working with a lot of producers, all from Richmond, all from the Bay. You know what I mean? Even when he was still in New Orleans, he was still working with those producers. Okay. And then, from my knowledge, I could be correct, or I could be incorrect on some of the details, but that was kind of the issue. The issue. Yeah.
Dang. And what Yuck Mouth is from
Oakland.
He's from Oakland.
Yep.
So the Loonies are from Oakland.
They from Oakland.
Oh, I was thinking they were from Richmond as well.
Yeah, they from East Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where's Mr. Fab from?
North Oakland.
Okay. So are you the flagship?
Hey man, you call it what you want to call it. I mean, Richmond we
cat?
never had anybody. I mean, you got some of the younger some of the younger cats that's then come up. A lot of new youngsters is coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we got but we've had some people from back in the day that laid kind of the foundation for Richmond. But I'm still here, man.
Yeah. You still live in Richmond?
No, I live in Oakland now.
Oh, you live in Oakland? Okay.
Yeah.
I love Oakland.
Yeah. Oakland is
the area, man.
Yeah. I got caught in an actual sideshow the other day.
Oh, for real?
A real sideshow. I was like, damn, niggas still do this at school. I was
Whoa.
like, damn.
Yeah. How long you been in Oakland?
I've been in Oakland for a while, man. At least 10 years.
Okay.
I've been in Oakland. But, Richmond is still, it's a hop, skip, and a jump.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's Richmond like? Like living there, like growing up there, living there. What's it like?
Well, I grew up in Crescent Park.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when my mother and father, you let my parents tell you, this was a nice neighborhood when they first grew up. You know what I mean? It was like affordable housing for, you know what I mean, which was obviously helped out my parents at that time, But then, like we talked about, of the outside influences, the crack era, all these type of things. Yeah. It became a hood, like it's basically a projects, and but when I was growing up, it was like kind of, when you talking about the 80s, going into the 90s, it was still decent.
Yeah.
But then I just remember when it's like, drive-by shootings became a thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? You gotta, but when you're growing up in it, you don't really realize it. You just living life.
You just thought that was regular life.
Yeah, we out playing football in the streets. And then it's just like, it's cars coming or this or that, I remember seeing one of our close friends for the first time get arrested for selling dope. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, they got such and such. You run to the park. You know what I mean? People in Richmond know East Shore Park. You run to East Shore Park and you see like, I was like, damn, that was the first time you see that. And then you start, it just morphed literally like in a span of like 5 years. You just went from being like this kind of community-based, predominantly black community-based thing where everybody's mama was like your auntie, everybody would kind of help raise you, but then it transformed into that element was still there, but then you had this nefarious, violent energy that was there. Like, you remember them starter jackets? I used to have a Bull starter jacket.
Yes.
And I'm coming home from the bus stop. I gotta turn my Bull starter jacket inside out because I don't want nobody to know red to stand out because somebody not on gang stuff, but just the fact that it's a starter jacket.
Yeah,
they gonna want to get that.
You a target.
Yeah, you know your Jordans be like, Daddy, I'm wearing my Jordans. Pops, can you pick me up from school?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I want to walk home with my Jordans.
Oh man.
So that was that. It kind of changed around that area. That was. But now, I mean, I'm not. You know, obviously I'm an OG now. I'm not in the streets. You know, I never was in the streets, but I'm not walking from the bus stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, it's not. I don't think it's as violent as it was, but it has its ups and downs.
I noticed on your album you put like a little sound snippet in there of the murder rate dropping in Richmond.
Yeah.
So is that trend still going?
So that particular clip was from a while ago. If you listen to the clip, it was like the murder rate has dropped over until now.
Oh,
like and then it kind of
okay,
so I kind of wanted to signify like it goes, but it'll come back just like that. You know, you never know because Richmond, like obviously here in Southern California, you know, you have the gang influence that's that's been around for a while, but there it's just it's more turf based.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Neighborhoods, blocks.
Exactly. And for a long time, I worked for a nonprofit organization like tutoring, mentoring kids.
Yeah.
So we was trying to try to be, because I had that growing up, good mentors around. And that was like, look, you want to stick to this, you want to do this, you want to go to college, show you the way. So, try to give back and do that same thing. So we, saw that, like firsthand, like, yo, this is still going on. You know what I mean? It's still there,
Dang, man.
It's just Richmond. How it's happening everywhere,
Because I went to Richmond. When was it? Because I wanted to pull up to see if I could find where Master P's old record store was.
It's in San Pablo, technically.
Yeah, I tried to find the exact address because I figured it wouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's like a pawn. Is it a pawn or a church now?
Yeah, it was just like something that wasn't really identifiable. Yeah. Were you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't really get a bead on the exact location of it because I love like landmarks and historical shit, and I just be like, oh, so this was. Let me go look. Or like this is where so and so is from. Let me go in here, and I like going to the hood in every city that I go to.
No Limit Records. Yeah.
Oh man, so I had to view it because even though honestly, like the majority of No Limit's catalog wasn't really my flavor musically.
Yeah.
I still respected the hustle and the independent drive and the output, and I was just like, man, that's dope. And it really just, emboldened anybody to, just go for it and do it yourself.
Yeah.
From a hip hop fan, a lot of the production wasn't really my flavor.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really buying the, but make them say and like
it hits. Yeah.
Some of the songs was undeniable for me.
You know who I love? I love Mia X.
Mia X could
spit.
Yeah, Mia X was barred up.
Like facts. Like we used to go to, let's listen to what Mia X about to say. Because she was gonna drop some bars. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fiend was, man. Fiend has a song with Currency called Flying Irons that I listen to all the time. I love that track.
It's an older track?
It's like, I would say, I think I first got hip to it 2011, 10,
I was going to say it
11.
had to be like 2009, 2000, probably something around that
It could
time.
be that old. But so you were 18, you got introduced to rap, and you was like, yo, let me. So you never saw yourself as a pro baller or an MC?
Well, coming up, my dream was to, play hoop. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That was my dream. But by the time I got to college, rap had became my passion because I had an older sister who was a rapper.
Yeah.
So she, her name was MC Spice, and this is like back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So she was doing shows, Digital Underground, 40, Black Alicious, rest in peace, Gift Gab. She was doing tour in Germany.
Yeah.
So I was just a kid seeing her rap. Going to the studio, following her dreams, and she was really dope. She was like kind of on some conscious stuff, you know what I mean? And she actually, Eazy-E wanted to sign her.
Really?
Yeah, remember the group Hoes with Attitudes?
Yes.
The Eazy-E and my sister was like, nah, I can't do that type of thing. So they were looking to put that group together.
Okay.
And my sister was just like, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
She was more on like trying to, do some. She was like street, but it was more like conscious street.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that 90s. Like
90s, I feel like most rappers had that
element.
as opposed to the other one.
Yeah, they had that.
Yep.
So she was doing that, And so I kind of saw her, but it didn't really. I didn't think it was something I would do, you know. And then obviously, once I just kind of fell in love with it, man.
Yeah.
Just kind of fell in love with I always loved hip hop, always loved music, but around that time, you know, I just kind of start coming into my own. And I just start getting more into hip hop, you know. Nas, of course, Pac, Tupac, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Like I was just getting into the lyricism, you know what I mean? Big L, because my sister was more, she loved West Coast stuff.
Okay.
So she was playing like Eazy, NWA, Short, all that kind of stuff. My older brother was playing EPMD, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One. So I was like getting both sides, you know? So that was kind of like my influence. So then by the time when I started making up my own mind, I was just really into like Nas, Mobb Deep, like all that kind of stuff. I was just like studying it. You know what I mean? Cannabis, Jay-Z, then Eminem. You know, this is, you know, you just start. I just start falling in love. Like, how can I make wordplay? I want to get better. You know. And yeah, man, that's how I kind of like. Then I just started doing it more and more. But I didn't think it would be like a career.
Right.
Yeah, it was just something you just had a passion for.
Do you remember the moment or the album because I remember like for me growing up, 2 older brothers. My oldest brother, he was into like house music in Chicago. He would listen to like in the 80s, it was different. It was like, you know, a lot of pop stuff was played in the house. A lot of rock, a lot of pop, a lot of soul from my mom, some gospel. So I'm getting all these influences. And rap, my middle brother, Scott, he was buying more the rap tapes. Audio 2, Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. So I'm just like, I'm absorbing it. And so...
But I still TV raps?
Oh, man, Yo MTV Raps was on. And it was
that
just
was
like...
it.
But I was still just like, I like rap. And it's all we were listening to... At school, you know, Chicago, we was all black kids. So it was just like, you know, we all knew the words to Love's Gonna Get You by KRS.
Oh, classic.
We all knew the words. And so, but still, hip-hop didn't feel like my own yet. I still feel like I was just leeching on to my brother's taste.
Same thing, yeah.
And so then, the moment where I felt like this is mine, this is what I'm really into, was just like you said. It was Into the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. It was Illmatic.
Yep, Illmatic.
It was Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music. That was the moment where I was just like, yo, I love this shit.
Yo,
this is.
I mean, think about that. Think about that. I mean, you had, like you said, you had Outkast's first album.
Right.
You had Nas. You had the Fugees.
Right.
You had Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? This was all like like 97 or you know what I mean? Like though it was written, but all those albums, it was just like, you know what I mean? It was just like, man, it was hip hop heaven.
Yeah, it was just like, and that was the moment where it was just like, yo, that's when I really got into it, where I really wanted to buy everything. I wanted to absorb everything. Because before that, it was just mainly like R&B for me. And then that Wu-Tang Clan, that was the moment where it was just like.
That's weird that you say that, because I wonder why that is, because I was the same. I feel like a lot of people, you grow up, I was more banging like R&B stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you get to be like a teenager, a late teenager, that's when you start.
Because this was 93, so that I was about 16, 15, 16 in 93, I think, if I'm doing the math correctly. So I'm still in high school. I'm listening to Mary J. Blige. I'm listening to Intro. I'm listening to like
Intro.
Heavy D. You remember Intro?
Intro.
I'm listening to that stuff heavy. Tony, Sons of Soul album. And then
my mom used to do their hair.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
My mom had a beauty salon in East Oakland, and she used to do Tony before when they was just a band, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a high school band, just trying to get it popping.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. But you know what? I think it probably was because rap wasn't dominant, wasn't on the radio back then like that either. All the radio stuff was mostly, you might have like MC Hammer and stuff like that, one or two songs.
Vanilla Ice.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Or you might have like just a random, what was that? Let the music take control. Like that, those type of like songs that might be on the radio, but like it wasn't rap. So I feel like probably as kids, that's all we was used to, was like the R&B video soul.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah,
you know what
I used to love video soul.
But then when rap start becoming, you know what I mean, we start getting older, we could choose what music we wanted.
Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, I'm about to go buy this, you know.
Because those sales started to really skyrocket with like The Chronic.
Yeah.
Like when the Chronic came out, it was just
The
like,
first
yo,
one? Or,
the
yeah,
first
the
one.
first one, yeah.
It came out like 92, so it was just like, it was selling. And then after that, Doggy Style just was like
Blew it
a
open.
record setter. So it was just
Yeah.
like, yo, hip-hop is a real
It's pop. Yeah, this is pop.
force.
Yeah.
Outside of, MC Hammer, no disrespect to Hammer, but it was very like, everybody could get the Hammer album. You
Yeah.
could take that to your grandmother, you could take it home to your family.
Yeah.
But like,
You didn't want to play
the Chronic,
you didn't want to play the dirty version of G-Thang.
oh man, the Chronic and Doggy Style. Your grandmother like, hey, turn that off.
Yo, my mom caught me with NWA Easy Does It.
Oh yeah.
I bought it from Swap Me or from the flea market or something like
Yeah.
that. My mom caught that. She was like, I was listening to it in the headphones. She was like, what is this? She was just, I mean, it was like a whole family meeting. I was just like,
Right.
and she just took the tape away. I don't want you to listen to this, blah, 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 blah. And then I just went and bought another one.
Yeah, I mean, of course. You had to.
It was just like,
You had to.
It's funny because I was the opposite. But growing up in New York, the radio station was playing hip hop.
Oh, okay. So
Like,
y'all had,
tough. Like I was hearing like Mobb Deep as a kid. I was hearing like Wu-Tang, Young, and so like I was all about that. And then I got into R&B once I got Boy Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, like
What's your heart matter?
once I was like, boys is looking alright.
Yeah.
But New York is different though. I mean, New York, like that's the foundation.
That's the
You know what I
Mecca.
mean? So that's y'all made that,
Yeah.
So that's the cornerstone of what we didn't even have hip hop, at least in the Bay. I know we didn't really have we had the Wake Up Show. That was it. Shout out to Sway and Tech,
Yeah.
Friday night or Saturday night, whenever it was. I think they switched it around, but you wait till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Coming back to what we was talking about, that's the Wake Up Show.
Right.
That's when it was just like, yo, stop what you're doing. I'm taping the Wake Up Show.
Yeah.
At 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. whenever it came on. I'm listening. You hearing you're hearing the new Nas. You're hearing Razzcast.
Yeah.
You're hearing Exhibit.
Right.
You're hearing all this. You start. Then they doing freestyles up there. And you're like, yo, this was just like, oh. And they used to. I might be wrong. I know they did it a few times. They used to have a multiple cast where they would like place. It would be. Not streaming because there wasn't no streaming back then, but it'd be playing on the radio with New York. So I think they had some kind of connect with Hot 97 or wherever Marley Marl was at.
Okay.
So you would hear Sway and Tech, and then they would be communicating with Marley Marl on the air.
Oh,
So they
wow.
would be playing stuff. So you would get that New York.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be like midnight in New York, and it'd be like 9 o'clock in the Bay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're and in LA. So they're like, that was like the dopest stuff. So you're hearing the exclusive New York stuff. That was the only place you can get it. You had to, tape it on your cassette tape, man. That changed.
Yeah.
That's why I was just like, oh, this is the dopest
You was all
thing in the
in
world.
that
Yeah,
moment.
for sure, man. Yep, that was it.
Man,
And
we
I
got
noticed you lean more East Coast in your references, like as far as like the cats that you were into. And, they tell me this all the time when I make my little favorite albums list.
Yeah.
Tony Bias, man. There's a lot of East
You
Coast.
are a little biased,
on
though,
the-
man.
but it's not really like a bias because I'm from the Midwest, so I can go
You go both
either
sides.
direction.
Yeah.
But it was just growing up, it was the style of rap, the style of production that I was just more attracted to in terms of like the beats.
But see, I noticed that
rhymes.
with Midwest cats.
Yeah.
Cats that I know from Chicago or from Michigan, Detroit. It's kind of split. You got some cats that are
Right.
more East Coast. They
Yeah.
like the East Coast just straight up, yo, we don't want to hear nothing, just Mobb Deep, son.
Yeah.
And then you got the cats like, nah, Pac, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's kind of interesting.
And the thing with Pac, that a lot of people lose sight of is that Pac is an East Coast dude.
Yeah, he's from the East.
He just went out west, and that's where he got his feet together musically as an MC.
Yeah.
But when you listen to pre All Eyes on Me, Pac, it's very much in the vein of Public Enemy or like
Yeah.
it just had a
Bomb
different
Squad.
sound. Bomb Squad.
Yeah.
It had a different sound. So Pac didn't go super
Holla if
west
you hear me, yeah.
until All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, that's when he put it to be honest though. Here's the thing: the cast that was producing the beats was cast from Richmond.
Ah, see, there we go.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think at that time in the late '80s, early '90s, the New York sound was pretty much the only sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then what happened is in the '90s you had obviously you had Dre.
Right.
You know, but Dre's early NWA stuff sound like East Coast. You know what I mean? He was kind of taking like what Public Enemy was doing, and but doing it in a, you know, he was taking the samples and he was replaying them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where they was just sampling. Dre was like, nah, we gonna
Definitely didn't sound like the Chronic when he was doing the NWA beats.
Exactly.
It sounded more,
it sounded more like that. And then he kind of figured like, oh, let me, you know what I mean? Let me do it like this. But it was sounding like the Public Enemy type of stuff, but it was different. If you listen to it, he was adding different elements, musical elements that made it different. Then you had, in the Bay, you had people like 40, Ant Banks, Sibo. They were creating that mob sound, kind of slower, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, you know, them subs and them synthesizers, and you know what I mean? So it was that different kind of feel. So that was being created at the same time.
Right.
But for the most part, the dominant music was East Coast music. That was really the only.
That was it.
So if you hear those early Pac albums, those was cats in the Bay
emulating
the
sound
because
of
that
the
was
time.
hip hop. You know what I mean? That was it anyway. So there really was nothing else, and then it evolved. Obviously.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
'Cause it was like, cause you know everybody be like, man, Pac is West Coast, but it's like, you know, if you look at his life trajectory, you know, he's
from,
everything.
He's
because everybody wants Pac.
Yeah.
I love breaking LA. I love breaking LA cats' hearts, and I'd be like, you know, actually,
Pac was only in LA for about a year.
Yeah, that LA was the last piece. You know, he was in the Bay longer.
Yeah.
And then he came down to L.A. But before that, you know, New York, Baltimore.
And even his movies.
Our intro to him
is
Juice.
New York. Yeah.
Juice,
and Juice.
And he killed it. He fit in perfectly. I believe him.
Yeah.
Like Poetic Justice. No,
Poetic Justice, he was from the Bay. And Poetic.
Yeah.
No, he went to the Bay.
He went to the Bay. He's
in
from
Poetic Justice. He took a trip up there.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah. That movie's all right.
I liked it.
You know what? I went back and watched some of those movies, man.
Does it hold
I
up?
kind of like them more now.
Okay.
I kind of like them more because I look at them as an adult, you know what I mean, as opposed to as a kid. And you just kind of like, oh yeah, they you know they just wild it out. They have, you know, but when you are, you're like, oh, there's some depth to this, you know.
Especially Poetic Justice, because a lot of people were kind of disappointed in Poetic Justice.
They wanted the Boys in the
They
Hood.
wanted another Boys in the Hood
part two. Like,
that was the follow-up.
Yeah.
So it was just like, man, it's a love story.
Yeah.
And people weren't ready for that. But Tupac could act, man.
Oh, he could act.
Yeah.
He definitely.
That dude, man.
Tupac was one of the greatest. What's your favorite Tupac? I felt like we agree on this. What's your favorite Tupac album? I feel like you picked
Me Against the World.
Me Against the World. Mine too.
Me Against the World
That's
is
my
prime
favorite Pac album.
Pac. Because
Flawless.
I felt his humanity a lot in that album. The productions and the way the songs were set up.
Complimentary to him.
Oh
everything.
yeah, and Dear Mama, that's one of the
So
songs
Many
that get me
Tears.
emotional. And So
Come
Many
on,
Tears
man.
is my favorite Tupac song of all time. That
like-
song,
And it's different. It's like
Perfect.
4 verses. It's like
Yes.
all kind of like, it's just a different, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, it's just, that's a dope.
that's
I'm with
my
you, bro.
favorite. And you know, I know people love All Eyes on Me, but All Eyes on Me didn't hit me the same. You know, when I go back to it as a, you know, because I was biased, y'all, because when Pac started the beef with everybody, he was calling out targets that I was a fan of. Like he was going at Biggie, he was going at Nas, he was going. I was like, man, I like all these people, man.
yeah.
Even though I'm in the middle, I'm a super fan of, you know, what I grew up on. I was just like, why are you doing this? And so when All Eyes on Me came out, the day it was released, I remember the score came out the same day. It was the score and All Eyes on Me. I had to make a decision. You know,
Which decision did you make?
I picked the score.
Yeah.
I got the score because I was salty. I was just like, man, he just, you know what I'm saying? And so
going at my
I
people.
didn't regret it because the score was
Yeah. When I got it,
amazing.
I had to get 2.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest albums.
The score?
No
Yeah, the
regret.
The score is amazing.
The
It's-
score was
It
amazing.
was, and it's
We
so
was bumping
different.
that too, yeah.
Man, it was just like.
But Pac didn't let loose. He didn't even let loose on All Eyes on Me. Remember, it was the Hit 'Em Up single,
Yes.
the maxi single.
And
you know what I mean?
I poured that into the All
You
Eyes
just
on
like,
Me.
it's all the same.
But then I was back for Machiavelli.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause, you know, I went to
Machiavelli.
that album. I was just like, all right.
Well, you know, I feel like All Eyes on Me was like a that was that was like a pop album, like the way it sounded sonically mixed. It was just like we never heard, and it was just like because you got Dre in there.
Yeah.
Obviously he didn't produce all of it. Daz and what was his name, Johnny J or whatever, I forget his name. Excuse me, but a lot of those cats was producing on it, and but Dre just had that ear to mix it the way it was mastered. It was like you never heard Pac so just like live and direct, like sonically. It was just like I remember like that was that album where everybody was driving around bumping that.
Yeah.
Well, on the West Coast. You know what I mean? It was just like you couldn't go by. That was Pac's Chronic kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like that was his one. Even though in the Bay, more people, we like the older stuff because that's more like the Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
'Cause
That
you
is
had
more
those
connected to the
producers in
Bay.
there.
Yeah.
And it
But
was-
that was his pop album. That was his album
Yeah.
that sent him over the top. You know what I mean?
That was the one. It was
Yeah.
like the perfect storm of everything.
Double
the production,
album.
double album, the image, the story behind the albums, everything. How was All Eyes on Me taken in New York?
It wasn't as big as like
Because I'm sure Life After Death was the album
yeah.
that you couldn't escape.
That was playing
But that
everywhere.
came a year later though.
That was like
Yeah.
it was like months.
Let me-
Because
The following-
Biggie died February.
Biggie died after Pac died.
Yeah.
And All Eyes on Me came out 2006.
You know what?
Life After
1995.
No.
All Eyes on Me came in
No,
1995.
95 was Me Against the World.
No.
Oh.
Look it up. Look it
And
up.
then 96 was All Eyes on Me.
Oh, he looking it up. I will say that I feel like Tupac was playing more on like the music video stuff than he was on the radio.
Oh, from where? Yeah, I
For
mean,
New York,
it's West,
but-
it's
So
East Coast radio.
They're gonna be like, all right, man. 'Cause
You said 2006.
I meant 96.
Okay, yeah, I was
I'm,
like,
my bad. I meant 96 was All Eyes on Me.
Okay, maybe Machiavelli came out after it was
Machiavelli. So All Eyes on Me 96.
Okay.
Machiavelli
97,
was actually also 96.
96,
And then Life After Death was
97.
97, early 97.
All right.
So like March, I think. And then Me Against the World was 95.
Okay.
So it was like Tupac was prolific. He was pumping it out.
He was pumping it out, man.
But back to you though.
Okay, yeah. I like this though.
You,
we
yeah,
going
we can
back
talk.
down
You
these
know, we can
memory lane.
We can talk hip hop all day. Now
Yeah.
you, okay, you got the buzz going because you actually battled Mr. Fab, right?
Yes, yeah. I
And
battled
that-
a lot of people. Mhm.
And Mr. Fab was regarded as like,
Well, actually, so at this time, you're talking about 2000. So we got to go back a little bit.
mm-hmm.
So I'm rapping in my friend's apartment.
Right.
This
Let
is
me ask you this: Were you a battler right out the gate,
No.
or were you just okay?
No,
All right,
absolutely
Keep
not.
going.
So what happened was, I got to put it in context for you.
Yeah.
So I'm rapping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing these raps down. I never liked reading from a piece of paper.
Okay.
I didn't like it because I had bad handwriting. I was slow. I couldn't like my friends. They were a little bit more advanced than me.
Yeah.
So we basically what we used to do is we used to go over there. We used to set up, and my homie Steve, he would make the beat.
Yeah.
And then we would sit there and write our verses, and I was slow because they were more advanced than me. So what I started doing, I started memorizing bars
Okay.
before I got to the apartment, so I could get a little jump start. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I was like, yo, they faster than me.
Yeah.
So then what happened is, long story short, I stopped even writing it down.
Oh wow.
So then that's how I started developing, because a lot of people be like, yo, Lock, I heard you don't, there's no way you don't do that, you know,
Yeah.
But it wasn't something, it happened over a period of a few years, you know what I mean? I just started like kind of honing the skill to where I could kind of like, so then that kind of helped my freestyle skills. It just kind of sharpened me. This is all, you know how time goes. It's just kind of all happening in the process,
Right.
you know?
Right.
We go up on the wake up show.
Uh-huh.
All these MCs, I meet Sway, you know, I get on the mic, I'm spitting. They're like, oh, who's this dude? You know what I mean? So I start
Right.
developing a name.
Okay.
We start having these local battles. The Source, remember the Source Unsigned Hype?
Yeah.
So this is how I learned how to battle.
Uh-huh.
We always wanted to be an Unsigned Hype.
Right.
Biggie, Mobb Deep, all these people were Unsigned Hype. We were
Right.
like, yo, if we can get an Unsigned Hype. So the Source used to have a phone number you can call.
Yeah.
So we used to call like, yo, we want to be sending your demo. So we made our little demo,
Right.
just 1,000,000 bars, you know what I'm saying, of rapping. sent it in. We don't hear nothing. You know, we just looking in the hoping they just going, you know, every month we look and we like, damn, did that one? So we call and it's like, look, man, what you can really get them on the phone. It was like, yo, I think the guy's name was Gotti. Whatever Gotti that was. He was like, yo, Lock, check this out. Your stuff is dope, but we got this kid. He's from Detroit. He's a white kid. We like, white kid from Detroit? Like, who's that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, can't no white kid from Detroit be better than us.
Right.
Well, you know, he's just signed with Dr. Dre. We're like, what?
Yeah.
And then he won it the next month. You know what I mean? And we was like, oh, this Eminem, who is this guy? Then you hear him on the wake up show. It's like, all right,
man.
This dude is, you know what I mean? This is Eminem. He's dope.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't take that away from him. But he was like, yo, check this out. The Unsigned Hype is coming to, where you at? It's coming to the San Francisco area. It's going to be in Hayward, California, or something like that. We're like, okay. So we like, okay, what day? Whatever day it was. I think it was like in springtime or something like that. It was in Southland Mall. So we burn our remember Circuit City?
Yeah, of course.
We go to Circuit City, we get our little tapes. Yeah. Make copies of our demos. You know what I'm saying? Like put it in the decks. Yeah. We take it to we like, all right, the source is gonna be in Southland Mall. Right. We're gonna bring our tapes, give it to them so they can so we can win Unsigned Hype. Once they hear this, they turn down this fire. You know? We get there and they're like, oh, you gotta sign up. We were like, well, okay, we sign up. And they're like, well, each one of y'all gotta sign up. We're like, well, we a group. What you talking about? This is our demo. It's like, nah, this is a battle. We're like, a battle? Like, what do you mean? This is the Unsigned Hype battle. And we're like, and I was just like, I never did that before. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, yeah, so you're number 13, you're number, you know what I mean? So we don't know. So I just get up there. This is my first time ever rapping on a stage in front of people like that.
Oh, snap.
And, you know what I mean? And
Under Fire.
I think the beat they played was it might have been Biggie Who Shot You or something like that.
Oh, that's a great beat.
You know what I mean? Separate the weak from the obsolete. You know what I mean? So that beat is playing. I just get up there and I start freestyling. You know what I mean? Just rapping. I don't know. I'm just spitting bars and everybody's like, oh. And matter of fact, that's when the dude was like, what's your name again? Locksmith. He's like, yeah, that's hot. I was like, all right, I'm keeping that name.
Yo, okay, that was the moment.
That was the moment.
Okay.
And then he was just like, all right, so now you moving to the battle round. Okay. And then and that's when I started battling. I was beating everybody. You know what I mean? I had never battled before, didn't know nothing. And this was when it was real off the dome. Battle freestyle, because you didn't know who you were. You didn't know who you were battling next. It was tournament style. So I'm battling all these people. I get to this, just out of hundreds of kids, it's just me and the other dude. And I lose the battle. But everybody was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you killed it. So I started getting a name, notoriety. And then they had it another year. So by that year, I'm coming in with a little clout. You know what I mean? People like, oh, that's that kid Locksmith. Same thing happens. I don't win it. Fab, I meet Fab. A lot of Bay Area artists, you know what I'm saying, is up there. And then when me and Fab battle, it was actually on the radio. It was the KMEL, the radio station, used to have a weekly battle. So every Friday night they would have battles. They was having these different cats, and my boy was like, yo, you gotta go up there, Lock. I was like, nah, man, I'm trying. He's like, dude, you gotta go up there. So I went up there, start freestyling. They was like, oh, you gotta be in the battle. So I just won it, won the battle. I think it was like 4 weeks straight. And then out of that, they were like, the winner of that, then we had like a tournament that was like off-site, not on the air. And I think me and Fab battled again during that. And, shout out to Fab. He's incredible artist. It was always just hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And obviously he's doing incredible things. But I was given that. So being I was able to win that, I was given the opportunity to go to New York and battle in the Times Square battle, the MTV battle where Sway was hosting, Carson Daly. And then that's when I started getting my name recognized as like Locksmith. You know,
she was in the crowd in New York.
No, I don't know. He looked at me. Yeah, I remember you.
It was TRL. Remember TRL?
Yeah. He was outside.
I actually was in the crowd for the Real Slim Shady one when there was a bunch of M&Ms out there. But that was a complete accident. I didn't know.
You just walked in. He was like, what did I just bump into?
Yeah, I was like,
yo, that happened to me with a Mexicans for Trump rally.
Oh, wow.
I was in LA. This was last year.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was earlier this year. And it was before the election. And I'm just walking. I was doing like a shoot. And I was just like, what did I just get swept into? They was like, yeah. I was just like, oh.
Hilarious.
And so I just like stopped and they're like, yeah. I was like, what did I just, it's cameras. I was like,
That's
yo,
mad
people
funny.
gonna think.
You got swept in. Like, hey, man. Somebody take a picture of you. Locksmith is a Trump supporter.
I'm like, what?
Yo, that would hurt.
Funny. I have a few questions.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you my personal questions first.
Okay.
So to me, as someone who's not from California, I see that like the Bay Area has way more culture than Los Angeles.
Well, you said that. I didn't say that.
Nah, no, I'm saying it. No disrespect to LA, but I just mean in like a, I don't know. It's just a different
I feel
energy.
like they're more diverse up top.
I would say that.
That's what
I
I'm
would say
saying.
that.
That's what I'm.
It's
more
more
culture,
diverse.
like more culture and like knowing each other's culture.
Yeah, LA,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, LA does have culture. Let's
It
not.
does
you know
have
what I mean?
culture.
Let's not.
Yeah,
let's
all
not
right.
do that.
More mixed in culture.
Yeah, it
with
is
each
more diverse.
other.
It is a little more diverse.
Why do you think that is?
Just because of the nature of the Bay Area, like I was talking about, people coming there from all over, different areas from the South, the Asian community, the Laotian, the Filipino. It's just way more. It's just it's a melting pot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more like New York. It's
Yeah.
like a mini New York in a sense. San Francisco. Whereas LA is, it's Hollywood. You gotta have a lot of people, but these people
Right.
coming here to pursue their career,
Yeah.
music, movies, TV, like
Yeah.
all that. So it's set up and it's just way more spread out.
Right.
The Bay,
Yeah.
Oakland is a little bit more kind of like New York. People are kind of
Yeah.
forced to. You got to like you know
Yeah.
you growing up with Filipinos, you growing up with what I'm saying,
Right.
Mexicans, you
Yeah.
growing up with black folks, white folks. It's just like everything. So you're kind of that diversity to its benefit and to its demise because the Bay, we're so diverse. Some people would say we don't have a specific identity. Where LA has an identity. LA, West Coast, Dre, Snoop,
Right.
LA. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
Bay is just like, okay, well, you got Hyro, you got Guapale,
Yeah.
you got Tony, you got 40. You
Right.
got Fab, you got Locksmith,
Right.
you got, you know what I mean? It's just so much, it's just, you know what I mean? You got I Am Sue and Pilo and all, Filipinos, blacks, like everybody mixed together. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like, I mean, I love it, but you could say it's not as just like one lane as, or narrow as some of the things that might help actually benefit LA.
It's like how we were talking about this on Daddy Issues. It's like how Denzel Washington is a movie star because he's Denzel in his movies.
Yeah.
And like with LA, it's that LA sound.
Yeah.
But the Bay is more like that character actor, that Daniel Day-Lewis, that
You can get
that
it.
Mos
You can get
Def.
everything.
You got it all because everything's so integrated and mixed in.
Yeah.
Even those acts that you just mentioned, everybody's so different.
Yeah.
But you're all from the same area.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's just like, which I appreciate. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
like,
yeah.
and when you move to the Bay, there's no when you come to LA for Hollywood, you kind of want to shed a little bit of your culture or where you come from.
You come in
just
to
so
be
you
a
can
part of
blend into
Hollywood.
the Hollywood machine,
The Hollywood
as opposed to up top. You're just being yourself.
Yeah.
You're just coming up there to live.
I mean, dude, I go to literally like when I go to like Williamsburg or these places in parts of Brooklyn. Like now it's like, dang, this is like how it is by the lake in Oakland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like you see everything now. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah.
Another personal question. Growing up, you grew up in like a biracial household, right?
Yeah, my mother's African American, my father is Persian, Iranian.
Was there like a balance in culture, or was it like, did you feel one more than the other, or like?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So growing up, we grew up in Richmond, obviously was predominantly black. So I would say for the early part of my life, like up until high school or throughout high school, culturally, like I just grew up black. I just didn't really, I knew I was Iranian, but I just, the black side that was all I was around. You know what I mean? My mom, because my father's side of the family wasn't there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Makes sense.
so I knew I was Iranian, you know what I'm saying? I knew I was Persian, but the black side culturally, I was black. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My sisters, my brother, because I'm my father's only child.
Okay,
you know?
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so even though he raised my brothers and sisters, but we, and my father, he around black folks long enough, he just, you know what I mean? He just like, but as I got older, and I start learning and studying my father's culture too. And I'm a Muslim too. I start practicing Islam, and then I start kind of learning. You know what I mean? Your mind, your horizons just, broad. And I start learning more about my father's side. You know what I mean? I start learning about these type of things. Even though not saying he didn't teach me, but it was just like, yo, my mom, you know what I mean? I'm around this all day.
Right.
Every day, you
Right.
know? So then I start just having a better understanding of my Iranian side, the Persian side. My grandmother, my father's mother came to live with us when I was in college.
dope.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
Yeah.
they didn't speak any English. So then now I have to start learning, picking up words because I had never, I wasn't around it.
Yeah.
So, but there was a balance, but yeah, it kind of happened like that. So first, and then I was kind of like that bridge even between my mother and father culturally because I understood, they loved each other. That's what
Right.
made their marriage work, But at the same time, there was still a lot of cultural differences that maybe they didn't understand. So I was kind of in the middle. I kind of understood both. So I could be like, no, Mom, this is what this means. You know what I mean? And this is what, so.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Especially get the grandmother coming in
Oh, yeah,
fresh
that's
from
great.
fresh from the trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
That-
fresh out grandmothers?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Because that's when you get into the real,
She was real.
unfiltered. There's no
Yeah.
American filter coming in.
Nothing.
She coming in
Nah.
fresh.
Nothing.
And I feel like you can learn so much more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, did she cook?
Oh, she took over. That was a problem in the house because my mom wasn't able to cook. My grandma just came in and was just like, I'm cooking everything. I'm doing, you know what I mean? Put it this way. This will sum it up for you. It went from being a completely black house to a completely Iranian house.
Wow.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was like, at first, it was like me, my father was the only Iranian there, and obviously me being half, and then to being in college, all Iranians there, and my mom being the only black person there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it was a
Shift.
complete shift. Because
Yeah.
growing up, I had my aunties living there, cousins, you know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. And then when I got older in college, it flipped in all my father's brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was that. So it was no English, so
Yeah,
it
that
was,
is
you got
dope.
a chance to experience both sides.
Yeah. And
man.
Persian food is good.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah, every
Persian
night,
food.
yeah. They break
Mad
out that
good.
grill, get to making the juja kebab and everything,
What was your favorite thing to eat growing up?
I like stuff spicier, you know what I mean? Growing up, my father made tacos. That was my favorite.
That's what I'm talking about, y'all.
Yeah,
Tacos been
I am
winning.
from California.
That's what I'm
But
talking
my
about.
uncle used to make juja kebab, and I would tell him to make it a little spicy. That's just like the chicken kebab.
Yeah.
He put, make it a little spicier because Persian food, I like spicy stuff.
Yeah.
It's not that spicy. So I'd be like, put some
Be
hot sauce
adding
on it.
in. What you be adding on for the spice?
I just put some hot sauce on
Just
it.
regular?
Just throw something on there.
Tapatio?
Or they'll put like just some peppers on it with it, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah, some peppers.
Yeah. I'm soft in that regard.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I am soft.
I love it, but it do be kicking my butt. But
Man.
you know what I mean?
My nose be running. I be
Yeah. I
like,
just-
Yeah, nose be running.
oh, tough. I be getting my ass kicked on the spices.
Yeah, man.
We got a question from the peeps.
Yes. J. Rome asked, "What bar have you heard that made you go, man? Why didn't I think of that?"
Oh, that's a good one. What bar have I heard? It's got to be probably something older. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I was heavy Nas guy.
Yeah.
Like I just studied Nas.
Is he your favorite MC?
Absolutely. That was the first. That was the Nas was the rapper that made me want to rap. And then as I got older and more in hip hop, Jay became
Okay.
the guy that was just like, okay, I can just relate to how he's rapping.
Yeah.
But to go back to a bar, I mean, and then I used to love Cannabis because Cannabis had them
Cannabis was
punchlines.
rapping. Man.
Remember that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cannabis
I mean,
was
he had just
rapping.
like bars, but I didn't even think. I was just like, it wasn't even why did I think of that. I was like, I know I wouldn't think of that. Like, you know what I mean? He was he was so ahead of us at that time.
His
you know what I'm
features were
saying?
incredible.
I would just say maybe I can't say one particular bar, but maybe something like a Nas song where he was like rapping about being a gun, that type of stuff.
Oh, I gave you power.
Like
I
something like
gave
that. It was
you
just like,
power.
yo, like at that time, it was like, who could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who could come up with something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was definitely something like that's super dope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great song. It was written your favorite Nas album.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
But Illmatic is a better album though.
Yeah.
I think Illmatic my 2 favorite albums of all time.
Oh man, we getting to it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
No,
go ahead.
give it to us.
I think Illmatic is a perfect album.
Me too.
There's
100%.
one song that it's that older one that's kind of like
One time for your mind.
That
That's
one,
the last. That's ranked last on my
yeah,
list
but
too.
it's still dope. It's
dope.
still dope. I
Yeah.
think that's but I personally like for what it meant to me. I liked it was written better.
Yeah. Okay.
I just like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, and I think but my favorite album of all time is Niggas for Life.
Okay.
NWA.
Yeah. The
I just
second in the
second one.
is that would that technically be their
That's
third?
the second. No, well, yeah,
If
they
they
had that
count
EP.
the-
If
the-
you count
yeah.
that NWA and the
If you-
Posse, no, we don't count that.
Second.
It's
We'll
the
say
second
the
album.
second. Yep.
Second album.
E-Feel for
E-Figgles,
zigzagging, whatever,
exactly, yeah.
whatever it was on
That
the
album,
narrative.
I just think sonically, I just love. I mean, it's obviously it's not the best rapping.
Right.
There's some bars on there. You got Ren in there.
Ren
you know
was
what I'm
there.
saying?
He was cooking.
Ren, dude. Like,
Yeah.
but I just think that, I'm a West Coast dude,
Yeah.
man. So at the end of the day, I still.
Imagine that album if Cube hadn't left. That album would have just been.
And I read Dr. Dre's autobiography or whatever, his memoirs or something. And he was
Mm-hmm.
talking about the space that he was in. They kind of just like had to get it done. I mean, he had these ideas and these concepts, but
Yeah.
he wasn't fully like into it like he was. You know what I mean? Because it was
Right.
all the strife and he was
Yeah.
kind of like
There's a lot going
on his
on.
way out, you know?
Mhm.
But to create that, I mean, sonically, bro, like the beats on that, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So that's that's
that's a
probably-
good album.
I'm glad that you brought up Nas because Stephen Wolf just asked a great question, and I think I'm gonna just assume Nas is in the answer. Which rappers aged the best?
Jay.
Jay, of course. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can go with that.
I think Jay
Is-
is the
lyrically?
stand- yeah.
Yeah. Oh, lyrically.
I mean, I just think as an artist, who's like aged. Jay-Z, this is what people don't understand. Jay-Z is the same age or a year younger than Big Daddy Kane.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And he's still
They're 1 year apart.
very like Big
I
Daddy
didn't know
Kane's
that.
very relevant, but Jay-Z's still relevant to younger
That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
generation.
And I'm not exactly. I love Big Kane. Like Kane is
Yeah.
like
I didn't know they were
Yeah,
that close in
absolutely.
age though.
they're just look it up. Dog.
Wow.
I'm not
Crazy.
BSing.
You learn something new every
They're a
day
year
in this
apart,
mug.
bro.
Big Daddy Kane, young then.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. So Jay to still kind of
Yeah.
be like, you know what I mean? That's like, dude, that's as an artist, that's what we, as far as longevity. And he kind of, I feel like, people might have differences of opinion. I feel like he's making it where you can age gracefully in a
Yeah.
dope way
Yeah.
in hip hop, where you're not considered old school.
Right.
Him like Jay, nobody's gonna say that's old school because
Right.
he's still. I mean, he ain't put out an album in a few years, but he's still like Jay-Z drop an album.
He drops an
Check it.
album, it's gonna be number one on the
Exactly.
Yeah.
chart the week it comes out.
Exactly.
And
And
I,
it's- yeah,
I
they are
love
a
to
year
see that
apart.
because I feel like hip hop is the only music genre where you age out.
Eminem too. If Eminem, you know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? If Eminem drop album, it's
Eminem.
gonna be number one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh yeah,
But-
for sure.
But as far as like who I put on that pedestal,
Yeah.
like I put Jay above Eminem. You know what I mean? That's just my personal preference.
Jay never lost a step lyrically.
No,
Yeah.
to me, he's gotten better.
Yeah,
me.
and I think he's better now because he's more personal now.
Yeah, he's
Because
not
for a
afraid
while
to go there.
he wasn't really. He was tapping into his true stories, but they still kind of felt like wait.
Now
this
it's
didn't
just
really
like
happen.
a conversation. Like I'm having this
Yeah.
conversation.
It's like wow, this is.
It feels like he's gotten to a point where he knows he's a little more untouchable, where he can get personal and nobody's gonna come for him.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Like-
like he said back in the day, lyrically, I want to be Talib Kweli. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I did 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like Common Sense. So it was just like he was adapting it so to be more palatable to the masses.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jay, I feel like Nas aged fantastic, especially with his last 2 releases, being that relevant and Black Thought.
Black
I
Thought.
feel like Black Thought
I was just about to say
and
Black.
lost the.
I mean, Black. As
piece
far
of
as
a
like
step.
spitting,
Yeah,
come on, man.
Black Thought is just
Come on,
nosebleed.
Common too.
Oh, I love Common, man.
Common, most, Yasin Bey, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Most depth. Like, come on, man. These guys they ain't going nowhere. As long as they keep making music, you
Right.
know, people going, I'm gonna fuck with it. And hip hop has matured.
It is.
It's mature.
I feel like people don't want to let us mature. It's like, the Rolling Stones are 87
Yeah.
Oh, man.
going on sold out tours, but for
Mick Jagger,
us,
I just seen him doing something the other day.
yeah,
I'm like, dude.
they are 96 and still up there shirtless, selling out tours. And I feel like with us, nah, man, you old. We can't. And that's
I think
unfair.
I think that's starting to change now because you have people like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's an audience for it. You got
Right.
granddads. You got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
all ages. It's like, nah, I'm about to listen. That's adult contemporary music now.
Right.
Like remember everybody got the old school soul radio station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I forget what ours, but we got it. And you hear like Naughty by Nate, or you hear like, you know what I mean? Stuff that's
Yeah.
just like, yo, like this is on the old
This is
school.
old now?
This is the old school stuff now. Like,
When it was new.
you know what I mean? Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
Janet
I
Juice
was
was on
like,
the
yo.
because guess what? That's what grandma was listening to when she was
Yeah, that's
That's
facts.
facts. Yeah,
when
grandparents
she was
now.
like 25. you know
That's
what I mean?
facts. I
So-
could become a grandfather at any moment.
Any
And
second.
I gotta
yeah.
I gotta take that in.
I think
Yeah.
about that all the time. You as a grandfather, they'd be like, "Yeah, my grandfather stay bumping Wu-Tang."
Yeah. My granddad loves Wu-Tang. And I do.
Yeah,
I
man.
big do.
That's crazy.
I want to talk my introduction to you. I want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the Lofty Goals album. I forget how I found you. Dang it, I can't remember. I was just like, yo, this dude right here. And it was and I just went to the album. I wish I could remember how you got on my radar.
Okay.
It was 2015,
Okay.
2016. Because
Yeah.
Lofty Goals was
2015.
that was your project
Yeah,
at that time. So it was just like, and then I kept bumping the songs. And you have a vocalist that you work with a lot. Her name is
Rebecca.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, because I used to use. It was I would just make videos if I was longing for like food or like something. The way she ended the song, it was like her fading out. And wait, hold on, I'm gonna tell you the exact song.
Phil's Lofty Goals. It could have been
Gotta let you go.
Boxes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's based on a true story.
Man, that song was super dope. And I was just like, in the way she's like faded out of the track, and I was just like, man, I want this peanut butter. And I would use that.
Gotta let you go.
Yeah, I gotta let you go. And it was like, great songs. But that was my intro to you. That album, Boxes, I Loved American Beauty. And I was just like, yo, this dude can spit. And I didn't know
Thank you,
nothing
brother.
about you. It was just bars. The
Yeah.
bars brought me in.
Yeah.
And some people say that a lot of battle rapping does not mean you can make a fully realized album in terms of song,
That's true.
song setup, songwriting. And what I like about you is that you can tell you could decapitate somebody lyrically in the battle just by how you deliver.
Yeah.
But you also can construct songs that are actual dope songs.
Thank you.
Realize hooks, content, subject matter.
Thank you.
Within so that's what I like about you is like, yo, I can tell he could battle, but these songs are well crafted.
Thank you,
And it
man.
ain't
Thank
just
you.
you showing off
Yeah. I'm
the
just
lyrical
rapping.
ability. Yeah. So it's just like, that's what I appreciate about you.
Thank you, man.
And that's what I like, this dude stuck with me. And when you did that project with Apollo Brown, I was like,
yeah.
this is just
Midwest.
because Apollo is one of my favorite producers
Yeah,
right
one
now.
of the best, man.
So it's
Shout
like
out
y'all did a
Apollo.
whole project. Oh, let me just sign me up, man.
Yeah. That was dope. Yeah, he just hit me up like, yo, let's do
Man.
it. We did that whole project in like 3 days. Yeah, he was just like, yo, you got to come out. We got to record it in Detroit.
Uh-huh.
Like, I want to say like maybe a month before he starts sending me beats.
Yeah.
And I kind of just started like, I didn't have that much time. So I kind of would like start the songs.
Right.
Just kind of like get an idea conceptually each song. And then we would go to the studio. I would record like 2 songs.
Yeah.
And then the next day, we would go at night, and then the next day, I would spend it writing the songs in the hotel, just like coming up with the bars in my head.
All in your head.
Yeah. And then I would just go knock them out. So we was just knocking those out. Like,
Yeah.
Just like boom, boom, boom. So yeah, I think it was like 8 songs, 9 songs. We just knocked it out in like 3 days. And he had the beats, you know what I mean? He's like, all you got to do is rap. it was great, man. I want to do something like that again. You know,
Please do it again with Apollo Brown, because he's like my favorite.
He showed me
producer
around
right now.
Detroit. He was like, "Yo,
The D.
don't stop at the gas station at night in Detroit,
Dang.
unless you know what I'm saying, unless you got something for it." Because I was just like, that was my first time in Detroit.
Yeah.
That was my first time. That was 2016.
And y'all did that in 3 days.
3 days.
How do
yeah.
you? Okay,
three, 4 studio sessions.
How do you memorize a whole song? Like, what is the steps? Because we hear about it. We hear, you know, they just be, you know, they don't write nothing down. They just memorize it.
Yeah.
How are you able to do that? Like, if you memorize a song, like, let's say you memorize, you know, the song on the Questions album where you're talking to your younger self,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That was the first song I did. First song I started writing for that project. First one, yeah.
Bastard, man. That's a great song.
Yeah.
How were you able to memorize each verse? Just up here.
You just it's like kind of like freestyling. So it grows out of freestyling.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You put it on the beat. He sent me the beat. And what I liked about it, sometimes I like it like that because it took the pressure off me, because he was just like, because obviously part of making the album is you know, unless you with a label, you got to be your own. When you're independent, you're your own A&R.
Right.
So you picking out beats, you trying to find out. I produce as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when Apollo, he was just like, look, we're gonna do this album. I'm gonna send you these beats. So all I had to do was just pick beats.
Yeah.
So one of the first beats he sent me was that beat for
Younger self.
Younger Self. So there's a sample in there where you just hear kids playing. It was already in there. So I was like, oh, it just automatically made me feel like a playground.
Right.
So I just start coming up with the bars. Like it was unconscious. So then I just start rapping the bars. And I mean, those type of songs are super conceptual songs, at least for me, are very easy to come up with. Because it's
You
not
got
even
a nucleus already in place.
Exactly. So you're not. It's not even really memorization. It's just like to me it's just like connecting words. Like you know what the next word is going to be based on the last word. So basically, if I can remember the first line, then what's the next logical line? It's just going to come natural. You know what I mean? So it's like a piece. So that's why it's never. I mean, obviously, when you get it down, once I record it, it's pretty much memorized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I pretty much have it. But so that's kind of the process. You just kind of piecing it together.
With no write down, no bullet points, no text in yourself.
No. It wasn't well, back when I first started, it wasn't no
Dang.
it wasn't no smartphone.
Right.
You know what I mean? You 99, 2000.
Dang.
You was just but like I said, it started from going to my boy's house, trying to get a head start.
Right.
So I used to write it down at first.
Yeah.
But I found myself memorizing it anyway. So I was just like, well, what's the point of writing it down?
Right.
I'm basically memorizing it and then writing it down.
Yeah.
So then the first time I went to the studio, I forgot my notebook. And then I was like, I don't want to drive all the way back. I was like, I got it. He was like, what? And I just did it. And I was like, it just felt better.
Wow.
Without having to be like, I don't like, I just wanted to be, and if I messed up, or if I said something a little differently, I feel like it was just naturally supposed to be that way.
Okay.
So I
the
feel like
organic approach.
Yeah, and it feels like it's a little bit more conversational as well. Like you're just like talking it or saying it instead of like, hey, yo, check it out, I'm rapping. You know what I mean? Even though you go into that mode sometimes.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Dang, man.
Yeah.
How long? Okay, so how long? Back to the younger self. How long would you sit there and listen to that beat, and then be like, I got it. I got the full.
Okay, I can tell you that exactly.
bottom.
For that song, this was 2 days. Yeah. So but it wasn't like I sat and wrote it for 2 days. It was just like, I'm working out. I'm running. I'm going to the gym. I have the beat playing in my head, and I'm just going over the bars a few times. So I'll do that for a couple hours, and I was like, okay, I got that. I got the first verse. You know what I'm saying? And then the next verse is pretty much. You just continuing that. But no, you know what? Okay, yeah, I did. Because some of the songs, like I said, we had to do it very quickly.
Right.
So I only would write I would only come up with the first 4 bars before I went to Detroit. But for that song, that was completed before I even left. So yeah, I had that one. Like I said, it was like 2 days in the next verse. And then I was like, okay, I got it. But since we did it so fast, I voice recorded it.
Oh, okay.
So I would come up with the bars, and then I said, you know what? we about to go record it. I got to go move on to the next song. I don't have time.
You hate time crunch.
Because if it was me recording it, I would just go to the studio that night or that week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would just do like 3 songs or something. But Apollo was like, no, we want to do the whole thing in Detroit. Come out here. So I only had a few weeks to do the whole thing.
Wow.
So I was just like, all right, let me save some of these bars on voice recording. So I would just rap them to the voice recording.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I was just like, just in case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be like, all right, well, what did I say?
Right.
But I rarely use it. It's just there as like background.
Dang,
You know what I mean?
I mean, I do that for stand-up.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, that's what
I was just gonna say,
See, I got
like-
questions for you because
Yeah,
but
let
it's
me tell
different.
you. Let me tell you. This man doesn't write anything.
Yeah,
he
see?
writes keywords,
I write bullet points though.
exactly.
but
But do you
sometimes
take?
it's
Do you
off
take?
the
But you don't take them
dome.
on stage.
No.
Yeah,
never.
so you got it by that time. So that's what I started doing. I
Yeah.
started writing the bullet. I treat the booth like the stage.
Okay.
So by the time I get to the booth, I'm already comfortable. I don't have to look at nothing because like what I'm in the booth, I can stop it. I can, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I got it all memorized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it just gradually grows out where you don't, like I said, when I first started, I used to write it down.
Yeah. But
You know
he
what I
was
mean?
like, man, I gotta.
But then after that, I was just like, I didn't like it recording.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to record. So then that part just got eliminated.
Because it's not like you, because you as an MC, your stuff is not basic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, yo, how does he memorize, especially those songs when you're going in lyrically?
Yeah.
Where it's like rapid fire, where it's a lot
Yeah.
of meat in this verse.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Or like,
How?
or the freestyles, you know what I mean? When you go on like Sway or K
Yeah.
Slay, people like, yo, that's written. I'm just like, well, actually, no, I ain't never written nothing down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you wrote that down. I was like, nah, I don't write nothing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, there's some times where I can like, you know, I could sit up here and it's organic, as you know,
Yeah.
being a stand-up, you know. But I got something I want to ask you, so I got that tucked away. Don't let me forget. I got
Okay.
something I
mean-
definitely want to ask you as a stand-up.
All right, I'm
Okay.
definitely yeah.
All right, I got it.
All right.
But people will be like, "Yo," I'm like, "Nah, this was never written." And sometimes I can come up like it can happen very easily. I can come up with a 16 in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it just all depends. Or sometimes it'll take me a week, a
Okay.
month.
Yeah.
If I just like, nah, I'm just gonna put that to the side. Or I'll be working on 3 songs in my head or 4 songs at once. And I'll be like, all right, I got the first verse to this, I got this verse, and you just start, you know what I mean? And now that I got a setup at home where I can record,
Mm-hmm.
now I ain't gotta keep nothing. I can just be like, what, you know what I mean? I can just record it as
Yeah.
soon as I think about it.
And you said in one of your songs on I think it was your album, not Olive Branch, but the one after Olive Branch.
Ali?
I think you said that, you know, you just talk about your life so you never get writer's block.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's important for me as a stand-up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I just talk about what's going on in my life, I always got fresh material because
As a stand-up, do you ever feel like
Is this a question?
this
That I
is
was
part
gonna-
of it? Yeah.
Okay, all
We-
right.
we gonna
I
lead
still got
into
to
it.
remind you.
We got to.
I just want to make sure.
As a stand-up, do you ever feel like, do you ever get like points where like, not writer's block, where you like, you know, think like, obviously you go through personal stuff, we all go through personal stuff in our life, but you still got to get up there, perform, you still coming up with new material. How do you channel that into your creative process? Like, do you have a specific thing? Do you just tell yourself, like, are there things, because I have little things I do, so I'm just
Right.
wondering, what do you do to keep yourself going creatively and just like work ethic? Because you work, I mean, you working
Yeah.
nonstop as well.
for me, it's like the way I am comedically with stand-up is I have to get the thought out immediately
Okay.
to the people. So
Okay.
immediately when I think of something that's funny, something that's been bothering me, something that I've noticed, something, whatever it is, I have to tell it immediately, or
Okay.
else I'll lose it, or I'll lose the thought. Even if I write it down, they'd be like, why did they even write that down? What does that even mean?
But you got to get the,
But I have to get it off because that's how I write. I write on stage.
yeah,
It's like
you test it out.
I test it out on stage. Oh, that worked? Okay. And then I go from there, and then I just remember, all right, doves at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go and I'll remember what to say, take out what doesn't work, add in what did.
What did work? Yeah, you're
And so-
constantly tweaking.
Yeah, always taking stuff out, adding stuff in, and like sometimes I'll put a joke away for a long time, bring it back out, and
It
now
may
I
hit
got new-
differently.
Yes,
It hit differently.
It hits
The
differently.
same
So
thing, yeah.
it's like that with me. Now here recently, I've been scared to talk about what's going on in my life because I lost my son.
Obviously, yeah, for
So
sure.
a lot of that's fresh for a lot of people, the audience. Not only me, but the audience is sad. So it's really hard for me to truly go in like I want
that was
to.
that was the next thing I was going to ask you because
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes as an artist, I feel like you have so many emotions, so many thoughts you want to get out.
Right.
We're emotional beings, you
Right.
know, especially artists. You're tapping into that, and sometimes you get to a point in your life where things are going on,
Right.
and you're like. Sometimes you want to talk about stuff, but you're just like, how do I do this in a way?
Right.
Are people ready for this?
Yes.
Am I ready to jump out on this? So you feel that way too sometimes?
For this moment in my life, this is the first time I've really been dealing with that fear.
Yeah.
Because normally I just say whatever. I'd be like, this happened last night. This is how I feel. This. The only time I was like questioning it is when it had something to do with my family's business. So I asked my mom, can
Is
I
this
talk
okay?
about this? She's like, no. I was like, all right.
Okay.
That was the only other time where I was like, anything involving me, I just say it on stage.
Yeah,
But
of course.
now I'm apprehensive because the audience is the morning is fresh for them too. So
Yeah.
it's just like, all right, y'all, bear with me. So I'm kind of like intimidated to go there, more so for the audience's sake, more so than myself. Because I know if I get it out, I'm gonna feel.
Why are you concerned
better.
about the audience? You feel like
Because I still want it to hit. I don't want them to be
Yeah.
sad. I don't want
You don't
them
wanna
to be
put that-
crying.
yeah.
I still want the laughs. And I know this is funny, even though it's rooted in deep pain. I can find humor in everything. So it's just like, but can the audience find the humor in this right now, being so fresh?
Yeah.
So this has been the first moment where I've been like truly scared to really.
Well, it's a growing point too. You know what I mean? You're figuring stuff out, like how can I incorporate this? Maybe it's not the time, or how
Right.
do you do it in a way where you still resonate, but it doesn't like just make this super somber mood.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
still
That's
wanna
what I
keep
want to
the-
avoid because it's
Yeah.
like the stuff I have been doing and saying, it's been hidden, but there's still a little bit of like,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
so
I
you
feel
said
like
you've been testing some of it out.
yeah, oh for
yeah,
sure.
Okay.
and I feel like with
immediately.
you, like they're coming excited, like we're gonna see Tony Baker, like we hype and it might leave their mind for a second, but the second he mentions his son, it's like a
Yeah,
trigger
like-
word
It is
that
Right.
that they don't even have that moment to process. Like, yo, I'm still at a comedy show.
Right.
It's gonna be like an instant, like, oh,
And they know it's fresh.
yeah,
Like if it was years ago and then the audience
Yeah.
didn't see
know
me
you? Yeah.
go through this in real time,
Yeah, yeah.
it might be easier for
Might
them
be
to be
different.
like,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I heard about that, or that was something that happened.
The audience
Yeah.
knows exactly when it happened, how they know everything pretty
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
and so
That's
it's just
interesting.
like it's raw for them too. So it's just
Right.
hard for me to. So
Yeah.
I've been easing it on people,
Yeah.
but I definitely I have to.
You got to get it out.
I got to get it out.
gotta get it out.
You
And then
know.
like everybody involved, like me, you, and then the whole squad, everybody's grieving out loud.
Right.
So as an audience, you're seeing everybody grieve out loud,
Right.
and then go right back to joking.
Yeah.
And for some people, humor and laughter that doesn't work for them when they're grieving or they're sad or something. So they might not understand it. So it's like you have to like tread lightly, because then it's like, does Tony
course.
even care about this? It's like, yeah,
Right.
he absolutely yes,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
it's like
'Cause
laughter
they
gets
haven't
us out.
seen me in
Yeah.
mid-ball say something funny.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's surreal too. You know, man.
Yeah.
I know when my mom passed away, she passed away in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first time, that's your mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just a very surreal feeling. And it was just like it happened like all of a sudden. It wasn't like, 6 months or, it was just like she got diagnosed with cancer. 3 weeks later,
Oh
gone.
wow,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, wait, what? You know?
Yeah.
And for me, it was difficult, but I kept working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just like mid stride, trying
Yeah.
to like find myself, and I mourned in certain kind of ways, and
Right.
then eventually at some point it did kind of hit me, but I was able to kind of deal with it and lean on certain people and get through it. But it is, as an artist, we do put it in it's very prevalent in my music. I talk about it and stuff like that. So it is as a comedian, it's different. Obviously, you're getting up there
because we gotta find the funny. Like as a music artist, it could be all serious business in the song. It could be sad the whole time.
Turn the lights low.
Yeah.
I need everybody put your cell phone, put your lighters in the sky. We're about to get somber.
Yeah. But for us, we have to have that laugh.
You got to do it. Comedians are just the most intelligent people in art. So this goes into what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Got it. All right. So you said something about battle rap.
Uh-huh.
And I often make this equation to like battle rapping and freestyling.
Yeah.
I kind of so battle rappers, freestylers, let's just kind of clump them together as one type of thing. And then you have artists and song making artists, or whatever you want to call it. And then you have stand-ups.
Uh-huh.
And then you have comedic actors.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're different things.
Right.
Because not every stand-up can be a great comedic actor.
Right.
And not every comedic actor can be a stand-up.
Right.
Because this is just my personal, the way I look at it. There are some guys who I love their stand-up, but I don't like them in a movie.
Right.
Or I love them in a movie, but they stand-up is kind of like, and then you have some that can do both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or some people, and I feel like that with rappers too. You got some dudes who can have bars or who can be great battle rappers or great freestylers, but I don't necessarily like their songs or stuff like that.
Right.
So I kind of make that. Do you feel what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying 100%.
I kind of want to drop a name that the first person that comes to my mind when you think of like great freestyle battle rapper, but the album wasn't that great, was Jin. I think.
Jin from 106 and Park.
Yeah, I think everybody was all like, yo, I can't wait till he drops the album, da da da. And then when he did, you stop hearing his name.
Right.
It was just like, okay, like
well, hold on. In all honesty,
my bad.
I know Jin. Jin,
Jin, you great.
Jin is a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? And he made some dope, but he didn't get the same type of. Actually, Jin went over to his home country, if I'm not mistaken, and really got it popping over there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
and then he started doing other things. But as far as like the black hip hop community, he didn't have the same impact as he did and it's a different kind of monster. I'm not saying I don't think he was capable, but it wasn't the
it didn't hit like the buzz.
Like when he was on 106 in Park. And, you know what I'm saying?
Arguably Cannabis too.
Yeah.
When he finally came out with his debut album, it did well, it went gold. But the
he had that.
The pre-buzz.
Everybody was just like,
great.
I mean, even though I liked it, but I'm a hip hop head, so I was like, yo, he's spitting, but it wasn't the commercial. It wasn't a commercial success.
We thought, when that album was gonna drop, I was like, this is about to be Illmatic 2.0.
Yeah,
and then it was just like totally a quick listen, and then I moved on.
Yeah,
I didn't sit with it.
It wasn't the same
because it was like and I attribute that to some of the production choices. And
it's a lot of contributing factors.
So
you can say that with comedic actors. He ain't in the right role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a great stand-up, but why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll give you my example for comedy. I think he's one of the most brilliant stand-up comic writers.
Yeah.
But in movies, it's cool. It's like Chris Rock.
Okay. A lot of people say that.
Even though I feel like he's finding his way with some of this stuff lately, I'm just like, yo, that was funny, Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? I like, I think I love my wife, or I think whatever that movie. That was cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
But he's not like to me. I feel like his super strong suit is getting up there on stage and having that conversation, that comedic.
That's definitely his superpower. That stage, and it may be so writing behind the scenes more so than being the front man on screen.
Yeah, and that's not taking away. I love Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that.
And that's a popular feeling that a lot of people have towards Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people be like,
Yeah.
But I definitely not the first time I've heard that about, And then you got some people that can do both, like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Killed the stage, even though he only did 2 specials, then he got the hell up out of there. But on film was just like, this dude.
He got it popping.
Yeah. So it's definitely that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And it's like, it's a lot of people that I've seen people in movies and stuff. Man, I love them in movies or a TV show, and then I seen them on stage, and I was just like,
a person who I am a fan of their movies, but I don't think I even really, and I'm probably the minority in this. I never really even watched Kevin Hart stand up.
Okay.
I've only seen like the movies. Like I've
Yeah.
seen like little clips, but I never like sat and watched
Front
a
to
Kevin
back.
Hart front to back stand up
Yeah.
special. I just watched them. So I like it. I'm like, yo, this is funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is chuckle. But I feel like a lot of people scrutinize him and say this and say that. But I'm just kind of looking at it as a casual viewer.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at him like, oh, that was funny. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like these movies. Like, this is funny. You know what I mean? I don't take it too
Yeah.
seriously.
Right.
But I never seen a stand up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yep.
you know, I don't
I
know in
feel
the
like-
comedy world how people view it.
I feel like the newest version of that is like the Instagram comedians.
That's another situation.
Like
Yeah.
once
That's another thing.
they'll try to do stand up for real.
That's a different
and they'll be
animal.
Super
Yeah.
trash.
You gotta
But they
be-
got like 2 million, 3 million followers
Right.
on Instagram. But then they hit the stage. It's like, what the hell are you
Yo,
doing?
It's like
It's the same thing with people who pop off in music on Instagram or these
Oh.
things.
Oh, yeah.
Or you know what I mean? They get a viral thing going, like, oh shit, and they get on stage, it's just like,
oh.
Yeah.
you know what I'm
no
saying?
stage
You don't know how
presence.
they don't know how to stage presence. They obviously can't get up on the freestyle. It's just like, I don't know. You know
I
what
didn't
I mean?
know this happened on the music tip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
you got
wow.
people who just
Yeah.
go viral off of doing
TikTok.
something, a song, a TikTok song or something, and then it's like, but music, I feel like stand up is one of the purest things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you got to sit up there and just get up there in this club. A lot of times you could be in a club and you could just be there, and obviously you can, you know, give me your input on this, but I just feel like it's just like one of the purest things, and your words and the way you hit has got to resonate with people. And you kind of
Right.
can't, you can't dress that up. You know, some
Right.
things you can do like little props and stuff, but for the
Yeah.
most part, it's just you up there in that
Yeah.
microphone. But with music, obviously, I ain't gonna say no names, but I've seen artists who were big artists, horrible live, terrible, and the
Okay.
label and the people around it had to say, "Look, we could dress this up and get them to that point."
Yeah.
So we could put the all the flashy stuff. We could put a hype man there. We could put dancers.
Right.
So it can make it like a show, and then they'll kind of find they'll never be like a super dope performer, but we can
The
get by with
trimmings,
it.
yeah. The sides,
by
the
with it.
trimmings, the
But can you really do that with comedy? With
not
stand up?
Not really, not unless you're a prop comic.
Yeah.
And those are rare, honestly. Like, and then I feel like prop comics don't really get their respect on the streets, if you will. But like, you know, a few, like when you got a whole puppet show, like my man
Oh,
Dunham.
yeah. The hell
Jeff
is it?
Dunham.
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, you got the whole thing, but like, you know, it's basically just us, that mic stand, and the audience.
Man, that's
Yeah.
pure.
And
dog.
that's just if we take that L, we take it alone. We can't hide in the band. We can't hide in the choreographed dancers. We just
Can I
gotta
ask
take
you
it.
another question?
Huh?
So, you obviously, you kind of like you got a huge internet, social media fan base, right? That's how I found out about you.
Yeah.
But then you also are you're a dope stand up. I mean, that's what you do, right? How are you able to? Is there something that clicked that you figured out? Like this is because I don't know. I don't like. How did you figure out? Like, okay, I'm gonna do these internet things, but obviously I can do this as well.
Yeah.
Was it something that clicked that you figured out? Did you just stumble into it? Did you say like, all right, look, I'm gonna use this to promote because it kind of you make it all work
Yeah.
together. Not everybody can do that.
For me, it was I was doing stand up first. You know, I started in 2008. And then, you know, social media started popping, and then, you know, Instagram slowly.
Wait, you started stand up in 2008?
Yes.
That was the first time you did stand up?
Yep.
Okay.
That was the debut. The
Wow.
debut. Because I came out here for acting.
Okay.
And then I was like,
Did you have when you came out here for acting? Did you have a specific type of acting that were you more into comedy or no?
no, I was just like a casual fan of comedy. Like,
Okay.
you know, I was just like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like.
So you wasn't coming out here like I'm about to be funny, y'all.
Nope.
You just come out. I want to act.
I came out here on the strength of an August Wilson play.
Okay.
I did Fences, and I was the lead in Fences.
Really?
And so I was like,
You was
Drama.
Daddy Denzel?
yep.
Okay.
I was
all right.
that. And I remember when I first got here, Lawrence Fishburne was doing Fences. I think it was him and Angela Bassett. They were doing it at the Pasadena Playhouse. And I was like,
Wow.
I didn't have the courage to go see them do it because I'm like, man, he gonna rip my little confidence to shreds.
Yeah.
So But I was, I came out here for acting, and it was like stand-up wasn't even on my, I watched it growing up, but it wasn't like,
Wow.
and people would say I was funny, but it was like I was never trying to be
Just in regular life,
funny
people say
in
you were
regular
funny.
life. Like, I like a girl, and she'd be like, "You're funny." I'm like, "Man, forget all that, man.
Yeah.
This."
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"You're funny though." I'm like, "All right." Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like I would deflect the funny because that was never my goal. Probably
Yeah.
because my older brothers made me feel like I wasn't funny at the house. 'Cause I was bombing at home.
Yeah.
Now I go to school and be like, I say the same thing. Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Tell my brothers. And so then, going through college and, hosting, because I was very involved in the Department of Black Programs.
Okay.
So I would host talent shows, I would host pageants, I would host these things,
In
and I would be
college.
funny. Yeah. And
So you'd be like emceeing the show.
yeah, I'd just be emceeing, and I would just be myself.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, you funny, man. And it's like, yeah, all right, you know what I'm saying? And so, mind you, growing up, I watched Delirious, and I
Yeah.
watched Sinbad, and I
course.
watched Tommy Davidson. It was
Yeah.
just Damon Wayans. But it was still just like, I didn't see myself as a stand-up comedian. So, get out here, and it's just like I'm doing extra work. I'm taking L's at these auditions, which I still do now. And it's just like, all right. And so maybe I should try stand-up as a way of exposure so I can get more acting roles.
Okay, so basically this came out of being like, yo, I'm not getting roles.
Right.
So let me try. So you kind of diverted. You kind of said, okay, let me try a different
Yeah.
route.
Because I was looking at all the actors that were stand-up comedians first. Robin Williams, Damon Wayans, Jim Carrey. It was like, these guys were stand-ups, and then they transitioned into acting. Maybe I can do that.
And they're great actors.
Yeah, and it was just like, and so, but once I did stand-up one time, I was like, this
Really?
is it.
Like, so
Now-
you got a great reaction the first time you did stand-up.
I got a good reaction. It was an open mic in North Hollywood. They were
Where at?
laughing.
What spot?
It was at the Ha Ha Cafe.
Okay.
North Hollywood.
Yeah.
I paid $5. I did 5 minutes.
Wow. So you had to pay to get
You
on.
had to pay to get
open
on.
mic.
I went with my cousin Tashawn because he was already doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Paid the $5. I was talking about life in New Mexico versus LA. I was talking about what else was I talking about? Farts. It was just all over the place.
Talking. Yeah.
Talking. They were laughing. I was like, I'm coming back tomorrow. I did it every single day after that. So it was just like,
Wow.
this is it right
So
here.
so you getting your thing going. So when did the social media stuff? How did you realize? How were you able to incorporate that?
So I've always been like I want to entertain. Like I want to perform. I want to entertain. So now, I'm just trying to find an avenue where I could, get my thoughts off.
Are you and you're doing gigs at this time?
I'm doing as far as stand up. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like
you got the
around
gigs going.
locally, doing shows on the road. By this time, when I started to really take social media seriously, I had already been on Last Comic Standing.
Okay, so you had already got your
Comedy
stuff out.
Central.
Okay.
So, stand up was
You was
the
moving.
thing.
Yeah, you was moving.
Now I'm trying to figure out, how do I get people to come to my shows? How do I get butts in the seats now? I know when I get them, I'll be a good time, but how do I
Exactly.
get them
There.
to know I exist? And so we started shooting videos of like, on social media, you got the ass and titty comedy, right? Where they get a fine girl, the opening shot is her butt, then they pan out and go into the funny premise.
Yeah.
But the perviness got everybody to look.
Got
You know,
you,
men
yeah.
and women.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
titties.
exactly.
We in here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to do that. But, I knew people that were, and they were getting together to shoot videos and make content. So I would come in and shoot with them. But I would just create like, all right, I'm going to do this movie villain that, always gives the plans away. And then loses the hero every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So people was like, what? And I was like, just shoot it. So I started doing those type of videos,
Okay, so-
putting those on my social media.
Okay.
And it started to grow. It was
Wow.
like, so it was like, yo, there's Travis Santiago and this. And then a couple years before this, I had did a voiceover for this goat in Brazil that was just giving people the business. He knocked this lady over with the groceries. He knocked some people off the bike. He was just cutting up. I was like, let me be him.
Yeah.
Let me be this goat.
This is funny. Let me
be the voice of him. Because I always grew up with animals and I always wondered what they're thinking. So did that, put it on my YouTube page. I did another video of a raccoon eating cat's food, put it on my YouTube page. It was just, and at this time I only had like 100 and something YouTube subscribers at this time. Put it up there. It was just sitting there. It was doing all right, but it was just sitting there. Cut to fast forward. I still had these videos in my phone. Yeah. And I would just put them on my Instagram periodically.
Wow.
The second or third time I reposted this, the cat and the raccoon went viral.
Wow.
And so I was just like,
old content that you had. You said, let me just throw this up here.
Let me throw it back up here.
And it just caught.
People kept asking me, like, yo, repost the raccoon and the cat food. And I was like, all right, man. I reposted it. And that third repost, the right people reposted it. It went viral.
Ain't that something, though? Yep. Ain't that crazy how you could do stuff? Like, I feel like sometimes I'll post stuff. And people like, yo, I just seen your new joint. I'm like, yo, that's from like 3 years old.
Yeah,
like,
but it's new,
but it's new
to the masses.
To so many people. That's crazy.
And it happened like that. And so I was like, let me just do this on social media.
That's
ill. And so, stand-up is always, that's why I do this. But I know a lot of people found me through the voiceovers or maybe the villain videos and the other video and all deaf. Yeah. So I got a lot of different
things.
Bringing
so
people
it's just
in. Like, but at the core, I want you to come to my comedy show.
Of course,
And that's the full thing.
That's
and
dope.
I just happened to learn how to, when to post, what to post, what's going to hit, and, to really monitor the analytics and all of that. I learned that as I went.
As you were going. Figuring it out.
And so,
that's
but
dope.
at the core, man, it's like, the stand-up. Even now, I want a TV show just so I can fill up the comedy clubs and theaters.
Yeah, because there's
do it live. Because
there's nothing like that. Yeah, it's nothing like
there's
that.
no substitute for live performance.
Yeah, there's nothing, and you can't fake that. You can't pretend that.
You can't get the same feeling.
You can't, man.
When you're shooting something.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's dope, and it's a dope way to create and express yourself. But it's really all. I mean, that's what we do. You create music so you can perform it, so you can go out there and give it to people, and people could be like, "Yo, when you said this, it meant this to me, or did that." You know what I mean? That's why you go out. That's dope, man. I never really heard that full perspective.
Yeah. And there's no substitute for live performances. Like you got to take your girl out.
Yeah, at some point.
Y'all can stream all day. You can stream, but at some point she's gonna be like, "Man, let's go somewhere."
What about when they start doing? You see all the virtual VR now. They got the Facebook or the thing where you can put your hand and you can actually touch something now and feel it.
They really don't want you to leave the house.
Yo, I hope I'm dead by that time, man. That's garbage.
You're gonna have to leave that house.
Bro, you gotta leave the house.
You gotta leave the house. And when you leave the house, we're gonna be right there with the live
Come on with all that, man. I don't want to live in a world where I gotta stay in the house. I want to be outside at some point.
The outside is fun, man.
Yeah, man.
Night on the town.
Right.
A good show.
Food.
And that's what I love about stand-up.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real. You got to come see me live. It's a different experience.
It's nothing more real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. You're going to get that show, though. I would love to see a show just about that type of shit. Like, that's dope. You know what I mean?
It's like, because now, like, when I book an acting gig, I'm just like, okay. Like, I'm excited, but it's like, call time, wardrobe, early, hurry up and wait. Long shoot. That hurry up and wait is so. Facts. We need you here at 6 a.m. Yeah. I don't get to work until 12 p.m. Yeah. I just been sitting here on set.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Just chilling. Yeah.
Battery dead. Yeah. So it's like, but a good weekend in a dope city.
There's nothing like it. Yo, that post you put of Kevin Durant.
Oh man.
Mad
ass, though.
Yo. Is that real?
That's real life.
It looked real.
Did you see what he said? He's like, I'm gonna start calling y'all broke. Because that's all he got.
He had to clap back. Cause yo, them ankles look like
We broke, but we moisturized.
them
Yeah.
ankles look like beignets. They
Man.
look like
Yeah, it was
Cafe
crazy.
Noir.
It was hard.
Them
I
things
was
look like-
bro.
Boy.
We talked about that on Daddy Issues this morning. It was, let me ask you this. This is the question we asked each other. Let's say you have the opportunity to have Kevin Durant's wealth.
Okay.
He's probably worth $200 million, maybe more right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be that ashy, neck down,
Forever?
forever.
Ever.
Nah, I don't want to be that. That hurt.
Yeah.
That's gonna itch and hurt. You ain't gonna be able to sleep at
You
night.
got 200 mil.
Dude, you ain't gonna be able to live. You ain't gonna be able to enjoy it. You gonna be
Yeah.
itching. Ain't nobody gonna want to be in bed with you. Like you,
Yeah.
you ain't
And
gonna
wait,
want
but
to.
like, how fast after the shower do you get that ashy?
I don't know.
I mean,
like
look.
if you got eczema, which that looks like,
Yeah, it might be. That.
it could be pretty quick.
yeah, that could be exit. So we don't want to talk about it. It might
Yeah,
be.
it
Yeah,
could be.
yeah.
But it might have just been ash.
It could have just been super duper ash.
Yeah.
I've been that ashy, like if I didn't lotion up after I went swimming.
Yeah.
That's that level of ash.
Yeah, it's that like I
Yeah.
just got out the water. It's dry
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, we didn't really know. Like I was a dirty kid, so I would just let the chlorine dry me out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What you taking? 200 million.
Oh no, I can't even like.
Neg-
I had to buy this, even though I moisturized today my face.
Yeah.
I bought this to moisturize my face even more. Like, I can't feel that because then I can't exist.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much.
Neck down though, your face is gonna be smooth.
And also, I like exfoliating. Like I like
ain't- it ain't
that's my
worth it.
favorite part of the
Yeah.
shower is the
200 mil
exfoliation.
though.
It ain't worth
200
it.
mil?
I do it for like. Give me $5 million. I do it for a year.
Oh yeah, I could do it
It's
for like a short,
lifelong.
a short
Nah,
amount
you
of
do
time.
it
That's
for
crazy.
life.
Henceforth.
You gonna be in your casket just.
But you know what's
Man,
crazy?
brittle.
As a woman, it wouldn't even affect me. Like I still like. I don't know if you'd still be with me, but somebody would.
Men would still be like, go.
Somebody would-
would.
Oh, they
Pull
holler
up.
for sure. What's
Yeah.
up, mermaid?
Yeah.
Because you got that fish tail
Scale.
body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Let me ask you this about your discography, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, and you probably going to be like, all of them,
My
you know,
babies.
each one represented a different time.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite? I'm going to just do these projects right here. Because I know you got mixtapes, you got EPs.
You talking about full projects or song? Or go ahead.
I'm talking about full projects.
Okay.
So we choosing from. I'm gonna assume Unlock the Funk is not you.
No, I don't know. I gotta get that. That's some band. Some
Yeah,
soul
1980. So I was like, I don't
Yeah.
think that's him.
That's funny.
Is Labyrinth you?
Band. Yep.
Labyrinth, the Green Box,
Those are all the mixtapes. Yeah. Before
1,000 Cuts. Is that the debut?
1,000 Cuts is the first. Yeah. I
That's
would
the
say that
first.
was my first
That's your
album.
baby.
Yeah. That's
That's
the first
him.
one I did. Yeah.
Lofty Goals,
Second.
the Lock Sessions,
Mixtape.
mixtape, Olive Branch
Yep.
album,
Third album.
No Question,
That's the EP. Collaborative. project.
collaborative EP.
Yeah. I also have Embedded. That's not on there.
Okay, Embedded.
Ski Beats and Dame Dash. Yeah, we did that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, you cool with Dame?
Well, I did a project with Dame. Yeah.
Ali,
That's an album. That was the last album.
and then you got the Lock Sessions.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Volume 2. That's a mixtape as well.
So we'll go with the albums. What's your favorite album that you've done?
She said each one is like your baby. Yeah.
I know, because I know.
Okay,
You
look.
like, well, you know.
All right. My favorite song I ever made. Well, I think the most important song I ever made is on 1,000 Cuts. That's hardest song ever.
Okay.
Because it's talking about like sexual abuse and that type of stuff.
wow.
So I feel like that's the most important song I've ever done.
Yeah.
I feel like Ali has the most bangers.
Okay.
Like that
Yo,
album, I feel like
Stars.
yeah, I feel like sonically everything.
Stars.
Yeah, I feel like that was like, you know what I mean. I really put a lot into that.
Stars with you and Murs.
Yeah, shout out to Murs,
We be listening
My
to that
guy.
song. That song is
produced by Apathy,
oh.
who's a dope lyricist and producer out there in Connecticut. But I feel like I say Lofty Goals.
Lofty Goals.
Yeah.
That was my intro to him.
Yeah, Lofty Goals.
The Lofty Goals.
You know
album.
why? Because Lofty Goals is just such. a marker in my life. Like I literally was just like, everything on there was literally just, this is happening to me, I'm gonna record about it.
Yeah.
Like literally everything.
Okay.
It literally, I can tell you every place I was at when I was coming up with those bars, when I
Yeah.
was thinking of, like literally, like it all is just really, really that amount of time, and it was just very easy to make, and it was just, yeah.
What was you eating during that recording process? What was your primary food consumption during Lofty Goals being created?
Oh
What was you
man,
eating
so I was
on?
going back and forth between here in New York, because at that time I was recording a lot in New York, in Jersey, because my boy Matt, shout out Matt Cody, I was going out there working with him. Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Ooh, Lord, rats.
Cause look, because we was out there in Newark.
Oh, nah, you was in the hood.
I was in the hood.
Oh, you was in
Yeah,
there.
that's
I
in the
was
hood.
in Newark.
Yeah, that's a
You
different.
understand what I'm saying? We went from Newark to, matter of fact, this is one of them. I'm just going, because you from New York, I gotta tell you one of my worst experiences.
Oh.
So I was in New York. I was in Newark. I was out there because I used to go. So my boy Matt and Braden and Salsa, they had like a commercial space in Newark, in this building, right in like downtown Newark. But they was living there.
Oh.
So imagine like this kind of building where it's like all like buildings, but it was no roofs. It was like, so it was just like just dividers
Okay.
and high ceilings, but it wasn't really made for people to live there.
Right.
But they set it up and they had an extra room. So I was just, I got an extra spot. You know what I'm saying? And I could just come out there. Matt was the engineer. He's recording. We're recording stuff. Whoop-de-whoop. And then they had the ceiling fell through. And above the ceiling was the other people's their bathroom.
Oh.
So we had no bathroom to use. We're just bro, it was such a struggle. And so they had to move early. So they're moving from Newark to Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
I'm helping them move. It's a blizzard outside.
Oh, Lord.
damn.
What month was it?
This was January.
Good Lord.
So I'm recording this album in January 2014. They have no working shower. We just got to wash up, right?
Damn, bird bath.
But this was in Jersey, though, right?
This was in Jersey.
I just want to clear that up.
This was in Jersey. I saw some of the worst. Side note, in one day I saw a man defecate,
Oh. Okay.
a woman get hit by a bus,
Oh,
Jesus
what the
Christ.
fuck? Jersey, not New
and
York.
people
yeah.
like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, yo, this lady just got almost killed. She was okay.
Oh,
Like,
she was
She
good?
like got up and
She
like
got
picked
up?
her
She
up.
dusted herself off.
And a man pleasure himself.
Oh.
God damn.
It was just crazy. But anyway, all right.
Is
So
that the same man that took the dump?
Shout
no,
out to
this was a
Jersey.
different. This was a different man.
Damn, Miles.
This is all in Newark, right? Shout out to Newark.
Yeah.
I had to help them move, pack up all their stuff to move to like a spot in Brooklyn. All that, we recording, we doing all that kind of stuff. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like rough. You know what I mean? We moving mattresses and couches and Crown Fried Chicken. Or if we was really trying to spend our money, we trying to live it up, we go to a Dinosaur Bar.
Is that it? That's in New York?
You heard of that spot in
I
Newark?
feel like I heard of it.
They-
I stopped by that time. I didn't eat meat.
Okay, you was
Yeah,
off.
I was already
We was going to Dino.
10 years in.
Okay, yeah, you was that's what we was eating.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but
I look, hey,
that's
I'm,
what we had to do to get
I'm
by.
all for, man, that's
Pizza-
rough.
Yeah, It was
Yeah.
rough.
But when you got to Bed-Stuy, the clouds opened up.
It was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shower
Y'all
was
had
working.
Showers
because they was in
Shout
the
out to-
Bronx. You know
shout
what I
out
mean?
to
And mind you,
Brooklyn.
this was their spot. I'm living in California. I got my apartment,
Right.
but I'm
Yeah.
thugging it out because we just record. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get it done. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? They let me sleep, sleep in
Free.
the spot for free.
Yeah,
you
so I'm
can't
like,
beat
that.
yeah, I'm like, all right, so I'm going to the city back and forth to Newark, but then when it got to Bed-Stuy, I was like, okay, now we,
Yeah.
know,
Now
we
you can
over
breathe,
here, we
yeah.
can breathe. You just hop on one little train and boom,
Okay.
you're in Manhattan. So, but we was doing all that. I was recording that, and I was recording. So I would say half was in New York, and then half I was recording in the Bay too.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like Brooklyn? What's your favorite borough?
I mean, that's probably the most I spent time. I
Yeah.
never spent. Well, Harlem. I love Harlem.
Yeah,
So,
Harlem's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, Harlem's
Harlem's
dope.
amazing.
Yeah, Harlem
Yeah.
is super dope. But I haven't really. I mean, I've been to Staten Island like one time.
Yeah, nobody
I've been
really
to
goes.
Bronx like 1 or 2 times. You know what I mean? But
I
yeah.
bombed in the Bronx. Ooh,
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Bronx
Don't be
is
looking over
the
here.
Bronx is its own place, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
like
was
different.
It was its own place, isn't
It's
it?
its own world.
Man. Anyways,
Is that where you from?
nah, I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, you from Brooklyn? What
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
Brooklyn?
Brownsville.
Brownsville. Okay, yeah.
Home of the brave.
Yes.
M.O.P.
M.O.P.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in New York, just like recording, like, cause like I told you, I did that album with Ski Beats and Dame Dash. So that was, I want to say 2011.
Yeah.
That's how I met Murs too, because Murs ended up working with Ski Beats, and then Murs was like, "Oh, Lock, you from California?" And then I mean, I had always been familiar with his music,
Right.
But then that's when we connected. But Dame Dash had a art gallery in Tribeca. It was like 4 floors.
Yeah.
It was the art gallery. There was a basement. Then there was an art gallery. Then there was a studio, and then there was offices where they were doing video editing.
Oh, wow.
I did a freestyle. Ski Beats was like, "Yo, why don't you come to New York? You know, let's work." And I just flew out there on a buddy pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
buddy pass.
Buddy
right.
pass.
Man, I remember
I
that.
missed that.
I flew out there on a buddy pass. It was another blizzard. I
Yeah.
always get caught in the
Of course.
blizzards. Couldn't even make it to New York. Had to get off at Baltimore, take a train from Baltimore
Damn.
to New York so I could be at that session. Did that session. Me and Ski recorded like 4 songs. He was like, "Yo, dang, we got to do a project with Lock." You know what I mean? And then that's how I built that. But ever since then, I just started connecting and meeting people.
Yeah.
In New York, and obviously Sway was out there. Hit up Sway like, "Yo, I'm out here." He started going up there, freestyling, doing stuff. So it kind of like after that, I never fully moved out there.
Yeah.
But I just built so many relationships and was just like out there all the time. So
Right.
New York is like even more so than LA. New York is like a second home to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Love to hear.
I'm a
it.
fan of New York.
Yeah, between the Bay and New York, those are
That's
great
a good.
2 homes.
That's
what
all
I'm
you
saying.
need.
Yeah,
Right.
They vary. They're cousins, man.
Yeah.
Respectfully, I'll add Chicago. That could be a 3rd
Hey,
home.
throw us in
yeah.
there,
Yeah,
man. I
I've
I
been to
appreciate it.
Chicago
respect it.
twice, and I got family there for shows. I haven't even been able to like really experience Chicago.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I got to get back over there.
Come on, it's
It's
family.
both been fun. It's dope. I mean, the love is
family,
incredible.
man. How you stay slim?
I run,
Okay.
work out. I
You
do
be
a-
running outside?
running outside.
Okay.
But then I tore a meniscus,
Oh.
so I started substituting the bike.
Okay.
So so that got me back in the gym
Yeah.
with the meniscus. But I still now try to alternate. I try to run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Couple days a week. Hit the gym a couple days a week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I know you be on your fitness too.
I be trying, man, but food be right.
I be trying, but food.
Food be.
Food is everything.
It's always there looking at me, man.
Food. But
facts.
are you guys are vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm vegetarian. She's 100% vegan.
Yeah.
I'm
So you
pretty
still
much vegan.
what? Eat cheese from time to time or something? Or
Not. I'll have a slice of pizza once every 6 months
Mm-hmm.
that with just regular cheese on it. But that's rare.
okay,
But
He's more
I'm-
plant based.
plant based.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's vegan, right? Plant based.
Well, vegan
Well,
is
vegan
a
is-
lifestyle.
Oh,
It
vegan
comes-
is a whole train of thought, a whole type of thing.
Yeah.
Right,
I be
okay.
wearing like these sneakers I got on is
Okay.
leather and like
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
So
I might get
you
I don't-
complete.
she's
yeah.
100%.
You just completely know anything that's made from animals. Done. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I be
Yeah.
eating honey and like, you know, I might get a cookie that has some milk in there or milk chocolate, or I might get a
Yeah.
waffle. It's got some
Gotcha.
milk in there.
Got
I had
some-
butter
yeah.
last weekend because it was on the grits.
Got you.
But no animals though at all. Like
You're not eating
consuming
animal
the
flesh.
actual animal, no.
Yeah, yeah. You're not eating animal
100%
flesh.
no,
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. What about eggs?
No eggs. Unless
Unless
it was in that
It was
waffle
in something.
batter.
Okay.
Then,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, because they.
I just don't want to be false flagging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Got you.
Because
got
vegans would be like,
you. Yo, I saw you eating a
yeah,
Mrs. Fields cookie.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want the smoke.
They be
you
on
know.
your
I just like
head.
to be 100% clear.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm not vegan. I mean, I am. I'm vegan friendly. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean. I don't eat meat as much.
Mm-hmm.
So often I do eat chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It's usually like lean type of meats, but when I'm at home, usually when I'm cooking,
Yeah.
I'm doing like plant based stuff.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing to cook? When you at the crib.
Tacos. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Tacos. You
Tacos
can't go
is the
wrong.
go-to,
Corn or
man.
flour tortillas.
Corn.
Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Corn, bro. Come on.
Let's
man.
go.
Come on, bro.
Have you been a vegan mob?
That's my boy. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
It's so
Have I
good.
been? That's my guy, Toriano. Shout out to Vegan Mob.
Yes.
That's why I'll be running after I do my
You
run.
go over there?
Vegan Mob.
No, Vegan Mob is so good. Have you ever been to Malibu's Burger?
Of course. Yeah, that's my
Yeah, shout out
guys
to them
too,
too.
man. They
There's some
started
good
that up.
vegan
Yeah.
food
We got
up
some
there.
spots out.
Yeah.
Y'all got some spots out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Monty's,
Yeah.
Monty.
Nick's.
Yeah.
See,
Nick's
Murs is
good.
vegan.
Yeah.
So Murs be telling, I hit a Murs, I'm like, y'all need a good. He be like, go here, go there. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right. So I try to,
Right.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Murs is my vegan buddy, man. We
Yeah,
be
okay.
talking about
Murs
it. We
is
be-
It is.
that
Yeah,
guy.
he's
man.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Murs.
That guy. We be on tour because I went on tour with Murs in 2019, and we be on the road, and he'll be like, we be like, where we going? And he'd take us off route
Yeah.
to go to the vegan. This is the vegan spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's like, yo, this fire. Sometimes it's like, bruh, we
Yeah.
went all the way over here for this.
Yeah.
But he do know Murs has been a vegan vegetarian for so long.
Yeah.
He could tell you the spots in every city.
Right.
He'd be like, oh, when you here, you go here. When you in San Antonio, you go. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
go to that spot. So he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a gamble, like, because a lot of vegan places are new.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll be going for the first time. She'll know it exists, but we'll be experiencing that place for the first time. So it'd be hit and miss city.
Yeah.
So we'd be like, all right, it's vegan, let's go. We'd be excited.
Yeah.
Have
And
you
then-
ever had the Modern Vegan in Vegas?
Oh yes.
That
Remember
place
we
is
went
fire.
there, babe?
Did we go there?
Yeah, it's like the restaurant. It was like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
black
kinda-
and white
yeah, it's
inside. I think
kinda
I got
black and
the
white. Yeah, it's kinda
chicken
dark
and
in there.
waffles or the salad.
What did I get? You remember what I got?
She.
I'm trying to remember.
That place is
It's
kinda
all
fire.
It's so good. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. On the
It's
strip.
like it almost looks industrial.
Yeah.
Where it's at.
It ain't really too much over there.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
not too
fire.
much,
Yeah, I had
yeah.
the every time I go to Vegas, I had the chicken sandwich, the crispy chicken sandwich, fire.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Yeah, modern vegan is good.
I'm hungry,
So
man.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I'm hungry right
Me
now.
too.
Yeah.
Have you been
dawg.
to El Cocinero out here?
What is it called?
El Cocinero. It's a Mexican spot.
It's vegan.
It's
I think I
vegan.
follow them on Instagram. I
They
haven't
got-
been
It's
there.
not far from here.
They got great tacos.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what do they use as their
They have different options.
different options?
Yeah.
Do they got the fake meat? I do be eating the fake meat. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
be
yeah,
eating
me
the fake
too.
meat.
They
Yeah.
got they got
I
whatever
know
you
it's not the
need.
healthiest. You
Yo.
know,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Go there,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay. All right.
Today.
Right now.
Let me know.
Say no
I need
more.
your number anyway, but let me know
Say no more.
because they're I love
That's
the
I'm
tacos.
always.
Yeah.
That's my spot. Every time I go someplace new, I be trying to find the new
Yeah.
vegan spot. Let me see what they
Yes.
got over here.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you go in there, you order, you can get the pollo, the
Mm-hmm.
carne asada, all vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got your options on the taco front, and then they just
There's
corn
another
tortillas.
spot in Vegas, Pancho's Tacos.
Oh, I heard. Wait, I think we went to that too.
Did y'all
Did
go
we?
there?
Pancho. Wait, no. I'm
They got
thinking
the
of the
things.
spot
What are
with
they?
the-
It's not a taco. It looks kind of like a tortilla, like a tostada kind of, but it's like a fried shell. It's like a.
What's it called? It's not a toast. It is a tostada.
It's not a
isn't it?
It's not a pupusa.
Oh, pupusas or
They
something.
It's
they put the
something
meat
else.
inside and
No,
then
it's
front?
just on top. It's like a
Oh.
tostada,
Wow,
but
no
the
clue.
shell. Oh man, it's fire. I
That
forget.
sound
Yeah,
good, man.
it does sound good. We did go to some drive-through vegan spot in Vegas, and
Vegas got some spots.
Vegas got some good vegan food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vegas
I
is-
like Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas is a good time.
Vegas
Oh,
is pop-
gordita? Is that what you're thinking of? Yeah.
It's- if you said the name,
Flauta? No,
no,
that
it's
don't
not a
sound
flauta.
right.
Nah.
Yeah, none of us know.
Do you think Oakland is overpriced? Like whatever your mortgage rent is
Yes.
right now,
Yeah,
is it killing you?
Yes, it's well, Oakland. Yeah, right now, yeah, people. I feel anybody coming in right now,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Okay.
But I think it's kind of so. About 2 years ago, it was dumb crazy.
Yeah.
like before the pandemic. Yeah, so the pandemic kind of
Oh, smooth it over a little bit.
it kind of brought it a
the
little
temperature
bit. Yeah,
down.
because and then people moving out of California,
Yeah.
tech places stuff is kind of like it still ain't cool, but it's not as worse as it was. I want to say 2 years ago.
Okay.
But if you bought something early,
Yeah.
then you good because the stuff is going
Right,
up. You know what I mean?
always.
But if you're trying to come there, obviously it's just one of the. I mean, yeah, it's one of the Bay Area. I think it's number one most expensive, even more than LA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
More
yeah.
more expensive, man. It's like it's dumb, but it's kind of it's getting a little under control.
Okay. You love Oakland?
Yeah, I love the Bay. I love Oakland.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice, man.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's just like you said. It's just that melting pot. You got different people. People's low key, but at the same time, it's not like overbearing.
Yeah.
You know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I love it up
You
there.
get a little bit. I mean, it's a little slower
Uh-huh.
than New York, and it's not as industry as LA.
Right.
So it just depends on what you're looking for. But it's
Right.
close enough. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna shoot down to LA. It's a 45-minute flight or a little 5.5-hour drive, depending
Yeah.
on what you want to do.
Well, you
so
can take a nice train ride down there.
they got a train.
I think so. I think
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
I never done
Amtrak it.
Oh
from,
yeah.
You know,
How
I
long
think.
how long that take though?
It might take a little bit, but you
Yeah.
get the chill.
You get the chill.
Yeah. So, all right. We got to ask you your top 5 MCs.
Yep, the
I mean,
closeout
yeah.
I'm
question.
gonna ask you too then.
You knew this was coming.
All right, I'm gonna ask you your top comedy. But go ahead. I'm putting it back on you.
Now, I could do it 2 ways. I could give me your top 5 MCs by region or just all together.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. I'm gonna mix it up, y'all.
Oh.
We mixing it up. Top 5 East Coast MCs. East Coast meaning North Carolina on down is exempt.
Okay, so you just talk about like Northeast, basically.
Yes. New
Philly.
York, Philly, Jersey,
Yeah.
Maine,
D-
New
what,
Hampshire.
DC, Baltimore,
DC and Baltimore, throw those in the East.
the East.
We'll throw that in there too.
Jay-Z number 1.
Okay.
For sure. Nas.
Okay.
Rakim.
Yeah, let's go New York.
KRS.
Oh,
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
all New York, in the borough.
KRS.
I helped them
and
right.
then
Here come the surprise.
Right.
who am I missing? I mean, I guess I want to say Big Daddy. I'm trying to think of eras, because my era is obviously more the Nas,
Right.
Jay-Z era, so I'm just more biased to that. But Rakim had a profound effect. KRS-One had a profound effect. I want to say Big Daddy. See, I'm just trying to give you my train of thought.
Yeah.
I put Biggie and Jay-Z together. I feel like Jay kind of continued.
Right. Took the
Yeah.
baton.
Took the baton. I
Yeah.
feel like Biggie was going to be. I feel like he's great, but I feel like he didn't have enough for me.
Uh-huh.
He only had 2
As
hours.
far as body of work.
Body of
yeah,
work.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying?
2
I
hours.
feel like he had Pun the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like Pun was just hitting his stride.
Right.
Like he was funny because he was already super lyrical, but then he
Right.
was making songs. He was funny.
Yeah.
So I kind of, so I'm gonna say Jay, Nas, Rakim, KRS, and let's throw Black Thought in there.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's throw Black Thought in there.
Goddamn right.
Black Thought.
Black Dog.
I'm gonna let's give Black, because I when I think about shit, that first Roots album, I had the first single, and then that first album, like that, Black Thought was like, I was like, oh, I don't know, Nas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black Thought. So
Yeah.
and to show that he still can just go in crazy. So yeah, Black Thought.
He can do it all. He's an MC that can do it all.
He's
could
an
be-
MC's MC for sure.
Yes. He could be smooth for the ladies. He can story tell. He could.
If you are worried about where, you know what I mean? So you can't say he ain't got them.
he
them
got
classic
he can
hits.
smooth it out if he
Yeah.
wanted to.
But
could
he
be-
gets lost because of the roots. You know what I mean? We
that-
just
he-
associate
He
it
wants it.
with the roots.
He'd rather blend into the band.
But then
than
he'll
to be-
step out and give you these bars.
Yep.
So yeah, so we
And
give
then
Black
dip
Thought,
back.
give Black Thought his flowers. So those
Oh,
are my
hell
5.
yeah.
Those are my 5 East Coast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, great. 5 MCs Southern. North Carolina on down to Florida, all the way over
Just
to
all was to be Southern United States.
all the way over from Florida to Texas.
Okay. Okay. Andre,
Okay.
Of course. Of course.
Wheezy.
Okay.
All right. I got some people in my head, but I just want to make sure I'm Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Face. So we got 2 more left. So I said
2 more left.
Andre, Wheezy, Scarface. These are just my favorites.
Yeah,
These are ones
yeah,
that
this is
that
personal.
you know what I'm saying?
Personal for you.
I'm trying to think before I go there. I'm trying to think of every state.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
You
I'm
got
like-
North and South Carolina. You got Virginia, West Virginia.
Honorable mention,
Wait,
Little Brother,
Texas?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Fonte,
Fonte and
Big
Big
Pooh.
Pooh.
You know what I'm saying? Honorable mention them. Who's in Florida?
Florida, you
Well,
got
T.I. Okay, I'm thinking about putting T.I. in.
Okay.
Let's just keep that.
T.I. is barred up.
Because I'm thinking about Georgia, the lyricist in Georgia. He's in
Yeah.
Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Florida, you got Rick Ross,
Rick Ross,
Luke,
Luke,
Trina,
Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy.
I'm talking about lyricists. Who is it? Any lyricists?
Mississippi, you got Big Crit.
Big Crit was my shit, man.
Got Lil Boosie out of Louisiana. Jay Electronica out of Louisiana.
Yeah, and Jay. Yeah, I guess we
Jay.
got to consider him a Southern artist, right?
Yeah.
He is from the South. Texas, Arkansas. I'm trying to think. No, I can't think of. I'm gonna put T.I.
T.I. So we
T.I.,
got
that's number
T.I.,
4.
Face, Wheezy, Andre.
Andre.
One more. Yeah. The side.
Damn.
I feel like Texas has a good roster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Texas guy. I'm just
Ghetto
trying to think.
Boys.
You got the Ghetto
UGK.
Boys.
Yep, UGK.
That's why I was thinking about Bun B.
Yeah, I was thinking about Bun B too.
I feel like it's got to be Bun B.
Bun
You got to
B
cover
nice,
that.
man.
Port
Yeah.
Arthur, Houston,
Mm-hmm.
Bun B.
Bun B.
Yeah, that's a
Bun
good.
B.
Bun B.
I was thinking Bun B too. I was like,
Bun B
You gotta-
nice.
You got to
yeah.
put Bun B. I was just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
Cause I listened to I wasn't heavy on UGK,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I did listen. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
understand. I get it. And Bun B is obviously super dope, and he has
Yeah.
some dope solo projects and
Anytime
verses.
he features,
Yeah, he
I
gonna
was just gonna
murder
say,
it.
every time.
killed it.
So
every time.
okay, yeah. So what did I say? Weezy,
Andre, Wheezy,
mhm.
Face,
Face,
T.I.,
T.I.
Bun B.
That's solid.
That's
yeah,
a good
that's
one.
a good
You
list
can't-
right
you
there.
can't-
Yeah.
And honorable mention. Hold on.
Honorable mention was Lil Brother, and then
Why is somebody's mention? Hold on.
Oh, Luda.
Damn. No, somebody underground. Then how am I going blank? Just move on. I'm gonna come back to
Okay,
it.
okay.
He's not in the top. All right, we'll come back to it.
Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
We got Michigan, Minnesota, Illinois, St. Louis,
All the Midwest.
Memphis, Ohio.
Chicago. Okay. Eminem,
Okay.
Royce,
Mm-hmm.
Common.
Okay.
That's 3.
Breezing through the Midwest.
Right, the Midwest was easy.
Twister.
Okay.
Okay.
Twister.
To Chicago.
You got to. Yeah, I mean.
I see.
So wait, I got Eminem, Royce.
Common Twister.
I'm trying. Do I put Kanye in there? I mean.
Okay.
Mhm.
Or
I mean-
Lupe.
Whatever you want.
Oh yeah, Lupe. How did I forget Lupe?
Lupe can rap.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Lupe. Wait, who else? I'm just trying to think of who else.
In the Midwest?
I mean, I got a lot of friends that are
Slug?
dope MCs.
Huh?
Slug, yeah.
Slug
Shout out to
could-
my man Slug.
yeah.
I mean,
Where's Slug from?
atmosphere.
Minnesota.
He's from Minnesota.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get mixed up with Minnesota because you be like,
Oh.
man,
Yeah.
I had this conversation with him about that too.
Okay. I didn't know you from
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
Yeah, because he's definitely in my top.
Slug. I mean, yeah, I love.
Yeah, I
you know
love.
what I mean?
Love atmosphere.
I mean, do I put Slug above Kanye? Though? Because I don't really consider. I consider Kanye just like a
Yeah.
artist, not like MC.
Right.
Slug is an MC.
Yeah, he's the MC.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the hard hidden questions on
Yeah.
verbal
And then who
cardio.
else is? But I feel like it's a lot more Midwest MCs that
We forgetting Tech Nine,
Tech Nine.
Tech
Bone
Nine.
Thugs.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Bone
putting
Thugs.
Tech Nine.
Tech Nine?
Tech Nine.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm putting Tech
Tech
Nine.
Nine.
Honorable
Kansas
mention.
City.
Honorable mention for sure. Slug.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I like Atmosphere's music a little bit more. But I feel like as far as spitter, you got to put it to Tech. They like neck and neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't, I got to shout out Slug. But I guess as far as like spitting,
Yeah.
I feel like Tech will probably just edge it out a little bit.
Tech
Yeah.
Nine.
But
be
as far as
spitting all over
overall
the mic.
artistry, Atmosphere
Yeah.
is more prevalent to me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give Tech that spot because I feel like he wants that spot and he deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
makes sense.
Tech Nine.
So I
is,
give Tech that.
Yeah.
Kanye, I love you as an artist. I love the last album too.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite Kanye albums in a long time.
I like that song with the Locks and Jay Elect. Jesus, Lord. I like this song.
That's fire. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. So that's my Midwest.
Okay, Midwest, we got it locked down. And now the West.
The toughest one.
Washington, Oregon, California, New Mexico, Arizona. North and South Dakota.
Yeah.
Alaska.
I had not an argument with this
Wow.
dude that was on tour, and I ain't gonna say his name because I don't even. But it was funny. We was on tour.
Say his name.
Nah, nobody.
Come on.
So he was a young white cat. He was opening up, and he was from Montana. Shout out to Montana. I just came back from Montana.
Montana's beautiful.
And the guy, when he would go on stage, he wasn't on the full tour. He came like a few shows in, and the guy who was my DJ was like kind of hosting as well.
Yeah.
So he would announce it, and he was like, "Coming from the West Coast," and I'm like, "The West Coast,
Yeah.
Montana? That's not the West Coast." I'm like, "Am I tripping?" So I thought maybe because the guy the DJ who was DJing for me, shout out Dave, that he was he's from the East Coast. So I know some people in the East Coast, they just think everything is West
together.
Coast.
Everything's
Right.
West,
West
so
Coast,
it's all
everything
sure.
is LA.
Yeah.
For
They
sure.
think Cali is LA.
For
They're
sure.
like,
Facts,
"Oh, I'm
though.
gonna be in LA." I'm like, "Bro, I'm 6 hours away." I mean, no,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm thinking that's just a mistake. But then the next night he said the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hold on. I'm just like, so then I was like, yo, Dave, bro, why you keep saying? He's like, he told me to say he was from the West Coast. I'm like, wait, hold on. So I had to go and I was like, bruh. He's like, what's up, Lock? I was like, did you tell Dave to say you from the West Coast?
Yeah.
He was like, well, I mean, you know. I was like, nah, dog. You are not. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
Montana. And people with us like, yeah, we told him it's not the West. I was like, dude, that's 2 states over. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you from Washington, I'll accept that.
Right.
Even if you're not from the West Coast of Washington.
Right.
If you're from Washington, that state is on the West Coast.
It's literally on the.
Yeah,
the
Oregon.
Yeah.
That state is on the. So you could be from the most eastern part of Oregon.
Yeah.
Even Vegas, I might even give you West Coast.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like you close. But I was like, Montana. I was like, bro, you 2 states away.
Yeah.
You ain't even in, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that sliver of Idaho
Yeah.
is
I feel like when people think of Montana, they think northwest.
you know what it is? So I looked it up.
Huh?
I was like, because this was a whole debate on this
Yeah.
tour. I looked it up. It's the Western United States. That's what it is.
Okay.
So Wyoming, Montana, Idaho is the Western United States.
Okay.
It's not the West Coast.
It's the West.
As I say, you can't say that anymore,
Yeah.
brother.
I feel it.
From the Western United
Yeah.
States.
From the West,
From
exactly.
out west. Montana.
Yeah, you trying to basically he trying to say he from Cali. Like you
Yeah.
trying to get
Yeah.
over
Trying to
like
get that
come
Cali
on,
love.
homie. Like I'm trying to you can't step on our toes like that. All right.
West
Top 5
Coast.
West Coast.
West Coast.
This is a tough one, brother.
This is personal.
Oh.
My top 5, okay?
Yep. Your personal.
Number 1 is Tupac.
Okay.
Even though he was born in the East, he got his game from the West.
He got his musical feet
He
together.
got his
in the
musical
West.
feet. He started rapping in the West.
Yeah.
He got his game from Oakland. Blew up in L.A.
Yeah.
Pac. Number 2, Ice Cube.
Okay.
Damn, this is going to be tough.
Hard hitting questions here on verbal cardio. Hard hitting.
Is Corrupt? I mean, we consider him West Coast, right? I mean, he was born
He's from Philly,
from
right?
Philly, but I feel like he went to high. I mean, he started rapping
Oh.
on in the West.
Well, if he started rapping in the West, then you can.
I mean, he's part of the dog pack. Don't
Yeah.
get no more
Yeah.
West. Everything
He's
he
definitely
did is
looked at
West.
as a West
As a
Coast.
West
Yeah,
Coast
I
artist.
definitely
For
think of him. Everything about him is West
Yeah.
Coast.
That's everything about
Yeah.
him. But
His
he
whole
is from
visual.
Philly.
He's from Philly,
Yeah.
technically.
And he let you know he's from Philly.
he doesn't.
but he also claimed,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
West
I
Coast.
would give him to you for the West.
So I'm going Corrupt. I mean, Corrupt Young Gotti.
Yeah.
So that's 3, right? Pac, Q, DOC.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
DOC. That one album, dude, lyrically, I'm going DOC because that affected me. When I heard that, I was just like, even though he's from Texas,
He is from Texas.
but he started rapping
Yeah.
on the West Coast.
Yep.
So that's 4. And the last spot, I got to give it to K-Dot, Kendrick
Okay.
Lamar.
Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, he's there.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, you can't take that away from him.
Man. Kendrick.
But
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Crooked Eye,
Ooh. That dude can rap.
I mean, I don't know, dog. King
face.
Crooked, man, that's my brother.
That dude
I don't know.
can
All right, I'm
rap.
pulling Kendrick out. I'm putting Crooked. Kendrick, I got. So basically, Kendrick. I got to hear the next album.
Okay.
Just what Crooked has done is just far as lyricism for the West Coast.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to him.
Okay.
Same thing about DOC. Even though he's not. So maybe you pull DOC out, you put Kendrick in, because he ain't. You know what I mean? But then it's like you got Corrupt. So that's the top 6.
Me personally, I would take out DLC and put Kendrick in just because Kendrick has more fully realized albums.
DOC got one.
Yeah.
But
But
DOC
DOC
he was
also
writing,
wrote for
He was
people.
writing them
Yeah.
Chronics album. He was writing, you know what I'm saying?
He's very instrumental in
he
the
was
whole
writing
sound.
them,
And,
you know what I mean?
yeah, and I feel that 100% as well.
So,
Because I be looking at, like, when I be putting my list together, it'd be like albums.
yeah, man.
I'll be album McGee.
So however you want to look at it.
Okay. Solid.
Top 5 comedians.
Top 5 comedians.
I
For
gotta
me
hear it.
personally.
Top 5, and I'm talking about stand-ups.
Okay.
Top 5 stand-ups.
So I gotta take my influences, throw them in there first.
Okay.
Damon Wayans.
Woo.
Okay. Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Jerry Seinfeld
Yes, sir.
is a huge influence on me
Seinfeld.
comedically.
I would.
And a lot of people be like, he's not funny on stage.
No, yes, he is.
For me,
His
He's
stand-up
mad.
is amazing.
and I see in the same vein as him, like the smallest little mundane things is what I find hilarious.
Yes.
And that was him all day.
Yes.
So those 3 right
So,
there.
wait,
are
hold on. Let me go back. You said Sinbad,
Sinbad, Damon
Damon
Wayans,
Wayans,
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Those are my 3 influences.
Damon Wayans is an incredible writer.
Oh, man.
So is Keenan, yeah.
He doesn't get enough props as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
People give Damon Wayans props as a comedic actor,
Okay.
but I feel like his HBO specials.
It was dope. I only saw
Him.
one. I only saw one. He had more than one?
Yeah, he had the 30-minute special, and then he had 2-hour specials. One's The Last Stand, and one is Still Standing.
What was the one where he was sweating? He had like the tonal shirt on. Remember he was talking? He had the hat on, the little
I
hat.
think that might have been Still Standing.
Still standing. Okay.
Yeah, he
Was
had
that
the
like
big,
his last
the big
one?
brown hat on.
Was that the last one?
I think Still Standing is his last. No, because he has The Last Stand.
Okay.
I think that might have been his last one. But I
Okay.
forget the outfits.
All right, okay. I remember.
But
You know what I'm talking about?
man.
Like that beige, brownish.
I know
kinda
exactly
fit.
what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
T-shirt, yeah.
Yep. Those 3 right there.
Okay.
This is where it gets murky for me because anybody
You
else
ain't
can
going
be.
back though. Yeah, I thought you ain't going.
Because I could go Richard and Eddie and George Carlin, but because I love just listening to George Carlin talk. Like even
Yeah,
if I'm
it's
not laughing, I'm just like,
Yeah.
great point.
Yeah. No, some of his stuff, you're not even laughing. You're just
No.
listening to
You're
him
just
go
like-
on for like 15 minutes. It's like, this is
Yeah.
just good
True.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is when George Carlin was doing his thing when I was, first coming up in comedy, that type of comedy, I was like, yo, I never heard a comedian have me really sitting here like,
He's
great
lecturing.
point.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
giving you, yeah.
So now too many comedians are doing that.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, it's too much great point comedy and not enough
Just funny.
gut bust.
It's like TED Talk comedy.
Yes.
He's
George
the original.
Carlin, I love it because it was
Yeah.
fresh when I first
Yeah.
heard of him.
Okay.
But now it's like everybody can't be TED
You're not
Talk.
putting Richard in there?
Now Richard, let me get to Richard.
Okay.
So Richard, I see myself in Richard in as far as the honesty and what I'm talking about. Like Richard was very honest. He would just throw it all out there and up there in the moment. And I'd just be like, yo, he's just talking about everything in his life. And I just like, I draw from that as well. And it was like when I watch Richard Pryor do stand-up, he birthed so many other comedians. Like if you ever watch Def Comedy Jam,
Of course, yeah.
you see all of his children
Yeah.
in Def Comedy Jam.
Absolutely.
So when people be like, man, Richard Pryor wasn't funny,
What? Who
I be like,
who
how
on
are
earth
you
said that?
how are you not, if you like anybody from Def Jam, you had to like Richard. You know what I mean? Because he influenced so many other comedians that if you go back and watch Richard, you may feel like, oh man, he's just doing.
Yeah.
Even though he was the originator of all of that.
Yeah.
So Richard might be my number 4. Number 5. I'm a big Bill Burr fan.
So you put Richard at 4.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is not in order. This is just
remember you
the
got
top
him in your
5
4. Yeah.
up in there.
Okay. So you got Richard, okay.
Just because I really liked his style and how he did stand-up comedy. And the fact that he would fail and recover and do all of that, he was
You
an
talking
open
about Richard,
book.
right?
Richard.
I think I just want to add to your point. Like Richard, I feel like was talking about personal, serious commentary on things, but he
Yes.
did it in a goofy, funny way
Yes.
too. That was just like you had to just like for that time period, you had to just like laugh
Yes.
at it. You know what I mean?
He
And he was a great actor. Great. His movies was funny too.
Yeah. He got the good movies. He got the, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was like Richard was,
He was it.
man. The 5th is tough. You know, a lot of people will be putting Chris Rock up in there and Dave Chappelle and like, you know. But for me, I might have to put Bernie Mac as my 5th.
Wow.
Simply because when
That's
I
so
first
sick.
saw him on Def Jam, I was like, yo, this dude right here is mad funny.
Wow.
And then every time I would see him on Def Jam, like, I want more of Bernie Mac. There was a few comedians I wanted more. Chris Tucker, I wanted more. But Bernie Mac, and then, because I like his blueprint a lot of like killing it on stage, scene stealing in movies. Everything he was in, he was still the show.
That's true.
And it was just like when he showed up in Head of State with Chris Rock as his brother, just slapping people, mad
Oh,
funny.
yeah, he sure
he
was
stood
in Head
out
of
in
State.
life amongst all these other mad funny people. He stood out with Jangalang and House Party 3 and like Don't Be a Menace to Society. It was just like every time he pulled up. Friday, you know what I'm saying? Every time he pulled up, it was like, yo.
He was the
He was the pastor, the crooked
pastor,
pastor.
yeah.
Like, Lord have mercy. It was just like, and the way he talked, it was so infectious. It was like, you know, and then the mammoth moment was original Kings of Comedy. Everybody's killing.
Yeah.
And then
Was he last?
He was last, and he blew
And
the
it was like,
roof
what?
off.
I remember, it was like, what is he going to do? Like, what? That was really.
Because I was already laughed out.
Yeah.
Like, Steve was killing his host,
Yeah, 'cause you had
DL. with the-
Cedric did, DL.
Yep. And they were killing. It was
Yeah.
just like, yo, I don't think I got any laughs left. And then he went, close it out, and I was just like,
That was monument. That really solidified him, like, on a
That's-
big scale where he was just like, yo,
that was his
for
moment.
him to close and to do that
It
and
was
to kill
just-
and made iconic. Because that was when he was like the milk and cookies. Was that when he
Yeah.
first came up with
And
the
milk and cookies.
milk
It was storytelling. It was
Yeah.
everything he was saying
Wow.
hit. It was just like,
Facts.
and I was just like,
So did you go back and watch all these things once you started? Did you watch them differently when you became a comedian?
not really. Like,
just-
because I was just organically watching these things. Like, I would just see them. Like, you know, HBO comedy specials, I was watching them.
Yeah.
Sinbad, I could
Yeah,
watch
we-
that with my mom
Yeah,
because
that
he
was
didn't
fun.
cuss.
Yeah.
So it was just like, we were just enjoying comedy. And then when I got into it, I didn't want to go back and watch too much comedy because I didn't want to get, you know, filtered or, you know, ideas or try to be like them purposely.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you know, I was just going to watch new comedy on forward. I would go back to my favorites, but I didn't really go back as like a study on, you know. So
That's a dope list, though. Yeah, you can't really be mad at that. I mean,
Yeah.
Bernie Mac, that's
that might be my list right there. Even though I tell people all the time, I don't have a favorite comedian because there's so many that I find funny and so many different elements. But those initial 3 that I gave you are definitely my comedic influence.
That's dope.
The stage presence of Sinbad, the silly act out, along with some dark touches of Damon Wayans, and the everyday break a observation down to the last molecule on something as simple as you know,
Seinfeld, yeah.
corn of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So it's just
Were you an actual fan of Seinfeld's show?
yes,
I
that's my
love it.
favorite TV stand-up.
So good.
That's my favorite stand-up. That's my favorite comedy sitcom of all time.
Do you like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes, but it makes my nerves bad
Why?
because he's just so he's so neurotic
Yeah.
that I need a break.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I
I-
binge it.
I was just talking to my boy about this.
Uh-huh.
I kind of feel like Curb Your Enthusiasm is better than Seinfeld.
A lot of
now.
people do.
I mean, it's different. It's like
Yeah.
it just kind of took what you know what I mean.
It's
just,
like it was
Yeah.
written in the Illmatic comparison.
It's like
Yeah.
Seinfeld is like the GOAT.
That's
like,
the
it's-
Illmatic.
That's it.
But it was written was fire.
But have you
Yeah.
noticed this? Do you still watch it?
Yeah.
Have you noticed the parallels between Seinfeld now? Like I was
Oh,
telling
yeah.
my boy, I was like, "Yo, JB Smooth, Leon is Kramer."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's
Doesn't
basically
care,
he's
doesn't-
Kramer.
yeah.
He provides that, and Jerry is his manager, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the
Oh,
straight
okay.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And Larry is kind of George and Jerry. He
Yeah.
kind of covers
Yeah.
both, so they're kind of like George and Jerry together.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So there's all like, you know what I mean? Like Funkhauser
Yeah.
is kind of like
Oh yeah, rest in peace,
Newman. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
kind of like friends, but they kind of like at each other's head.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those parallels, but you can curse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's
You
like
ain't
Yeah.
got that
And then also,
NBC
like,
restriction.
a lot of it feels so real that I don't feel like I'm watching something that was written.
nah.
Yeah.
Because
I'll be
That's
like,
the
yo,
beauty of it.
is
it's
this
not
real?
It's not really written.
They
right?
say
It's
that he
not,
doesn't
yeah.
write it. He sets up the scene
He
and
sets
then
up
they
the
just
scene
go.
and they just let him go and they
Yeah.
record it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
dope.
a funny show though, but
It's great.
I'll be having my little breaks.
Yeah.
Just cause.
No, it is a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Because
It
you
is
know
a
what?
lot.
I took a break from it for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then I went back and
That's what I
like caught
did.
up on like
Yeah.
the 2 before this
Mm-hmm.
one.
He be making my nerves bad. But
Yeah.
Seinfeld, that's the cream of the crop for
Yeah,
me.
Seinfeld is just like 30 minutes is all the hits.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just
man.
like funny hits, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Laugh
The
track.
callbacks.
Yep.
It's always a great callback in an episode. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
this.
Curb is like there's some lull moments where kind of lulls or like, you know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
like, episode or 2 is just like, well, it's kind of
Yeah.
okay. Where Seinfeld, it's just 22
Yeah.
minutes of, you know what I'm saying? It just hits.
and I started watching Seinfeld when it premiered.
Me too.
Before I even really understood the
Yeah, when it
humor
was when it
myself.
was weird.
Yeah,
when
I
it
was
was
just
just
like,
George and Jerry at the
I don't know what's happening
laundromat.
here, but I like it. Like I've never seen a show like this, but I like it. I
Me
wasn't
too.
really laughing a ton on those early episodes,
But
I was like,
but you enjoyed it.
it felt like
Yeah.
nothing I had seen before on
There
TV.
you go. I was the same way,
And
bro.
then it just got funnier and funnier, and I was just like,
Facts. It got
Yes.
outrageous
man.
towards
Yeah.
the end.
Oh yeah, they were
Absolutely.
It
just
was
like,
just outrageous.
all right,
But I
oh,
kind of
wow.
feel like that's how Curb is getting.
Yeah, Curb
it's just
is
outrageous.
insane. Yeah.
It's like, yo, this shit is crazy.
It's absolutely insane. I like that Curb gave us a little bit of Seinfeld within
Yeah.
the shows, like when they were like bringing Seinfeld back.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
they
episode.
gave us an episode.
They gave us Seinfeld, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's dope.
and who better to do it than Larry,
Then Larry
David?
David.
Yeah,
That was
because
dope.
yeah, man.
But
So that's
Leon is
Yeah, it's so funny.
JB Smooth. That was the best addition.
He's
they
a
could have
scene
had, that
stealer.
motherfucker.
He definitely
He's a
is.
scene stealer.
Because even when
Dude.
he's just sitting there chewing,
No,
I'm
he's
like,
the funniest thing.
yeah.
This
Dude,
man's
the other-
hilarious.
The other day he was like, Larry's like, oh, what's that smell? He's like, kitchen. like you know, you walking in, what's that smell? It's kitchen. That's the smell.
so stupid.
Because my intro to him was on this show called Till Death with Brad Garrett.
Wait, what was that show?
It was on Fox for like a couple seasons. It was Brad Garrett and I think Patricia Heaton.
I feel like
It was on Fox. Mm-hmm. And JB Smooth came on there for just a couple episodes. Then they made him a regular. And I was just like, who is this man? Little did I know.
Wow,
JB
he's
Smooth.
funny, man. I feel like he's
That
perfect
dude,
for that.
mad
Yeah,
funny, man.
hilarious.
Perfect for that, man.
Mad funny.
Yeah, dog.
Bro, thank you, man,
Yeah,
Yes.
man. This is a pleasure, man.
for doing this.
It's an honor.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I'm honored.
One of the dopest, man. Great conversation.
Get all this, man. Yeah, this was a good time. We're going to have to have you back.
Yeah,
Yes.
hell yeah, bro.
Whenever you come down here, let us know. You're welcome to the house. Now we got space to entertain people.
Yeah.
You're always
Yeah.
welcome to the crib.
Yeah.
Sure.
We got a
Pull
guest
up.
room if you
We have
need to
a roof.
crash.
Y'all got a roof?
Yeah,
We got a roof,
We
we
got,
got a
working, we got a
shower.
working
Dope, dope.
bathroom.
No blizzard.
No,
Yeah.
nobody taking defecating
Nah,
outside.
well,
Nah, with a cat.
The cats
cat
might, but-
Okay, with cats, you know.
You might see the cats
You
do
know,
them,
that's-
but,
Yeah,
That's
but
but they ain't gonna be
besides that-
pleasuring themselves. Actually, they might on the licks. You know, it just
Yeah,
depends.
you know
But
what?
yeah.
I don't know. Still pull up.
It might feel like Newark, New Jersey, but
Oh,
anytime,
man,
bro.
Those are the memories.
But yeah, man. Anything you need to plug to the people?
Yeah, man. Just just go to Locksmith on Spotify, Apple Music, or my site is I Am Lock. Lots of new music coming, a lot of things in the works. Yeah, just got a new song with Paige Kennedy.
Oh, that's my guy.
Paige.
That's your guy. He
Yeah.
told me that. He says like,
Yeah.
"Yo, that's my guy."
We need to
It's
get
a dope
Paige.
song. It's Paige Kennedy, Royce the 5'9",
Ooh.
My Son, Graph, 3D Not T, The Game, Ransom, Locksmith, all on one song. It's
Damn.
like super bars. he
Damn.
just dropped it today. So yeah,
Yo.
it's called Grand Finale. So we redid the DOC track. You know what I mean?
I
Grand
got to
Finale.
pull up on this.
Yeah,
Whose
yeah.
project is this on?
Page.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to pull up to this.
Yeah. Check it out, man.
Yes.
I haven't even listened to the whole thing. I heard like the rough when I put my verse on it, some of it, but I haven't even heard the whole thing. I saw he just posted it.
Oh, I got to pull up.
Yeah,
Got to
man.
pull up. Shout out to Paige Kennedy.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you to the patron saints in here with the good questions. Shout out to Sabrina holding us
shout out
down
to
on the
Sabrina.
production tip.
Yeah.
You
I
know
think
what
this is
I'm
my first podcast, man.
You
Like
really?
real
Ever?
like in sit down podcast, I want to say.
saying? Oh, you were great, man.
Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't
you killed it.
really done too many but I knew you would have good stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
man.
It was
I'm
definitely a good
honored
time.
then.
Yeah.
This the day brewer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
debut.
The day brewer.
As they say in Chicago.
Yeah, man, the day brewer.
They need to get some vegan Harold's chicken.
I'm with it. If they can do it and match the sauce and the
Yeah. The sauce is what make it.
oh man, I used to think it was ketchup growing up. I was like, oh no, this is a special sauce.
There is a vegan restaurant that's literally they veganized because they have the white bread, right?
They got the white bread at the bottom.
Yeah.
They usually put it at the bottom.
I'm following somebody that posted it.
It's
and
like,
it's like the
it's
vegan,
like a fake Harold's
the
chicken, but
vegan
vegan.
Harold. And
Ooh.
I was like, I ain't
I
never
would
had
like to
Harold's
try
chicken.
that. Hopefully
Okay.
they match the sauce because
Yeah.
That's what it is.
that's Harold's
Honestly,
claim.
when I had the chicken, I was like, and then I put the sauce, I was like,
yeah,
oh. it.
it's that sauce that makes it magical, man. I grew up on that mess.
Much love, my brother.
Yeah, man. But appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and we out of here.
You're
Boom.